from the mountaintops to the valleys and rivers below, from the ocean waters to the desert, from the city skyscrapers to the beautiful rural areas of the land we now call San Diego County. You are on indigenous land, and as the indigenous people of this land, we greet you in our indigenous languages.
Miawa, Chamesha Taham Kupanga.
Meya, Mikasham Echon, Payam Kochamatacham.
Miachen, Nenetu, Mario, Lario, Chunaka, Nacham, Bachuanga, Willakanga, Kupanga, Umanamikam, Iviyoat.
Alkamenuea, Namiyut the Menue, Di Ipai, Tipai, Amat Fahan.
Welcome to Kumeyaay country, where our ancestors have lived since time immemorial. I wanted to wish you a happy Pride Month. Be safe, love one another, but especially love yourself.
On behalf of the Rainbow of Truth Circle, we thank you, San Diego Pride.
Thank you for supporting us and creating safe spaces to address intimate partner violence within our Two-Spirit Native LGBTQ community.
Together we rise!
Hi, welcome to SheFest. Welcome to SheFest. Thank you for joining us. Happy SheFest. Happy SheFest. We're so glad you're here. Happy SheFest. Happy Pride and happy SheFest.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome
To the virtual SheFest 2021. We are so excited to have you here.
It's today, finally, it came, that beautiful day. Welcome, everyone.
Yes, awesome. And to get us started, I'm going to introduce who I am. I will be one of your co-hosts today. And my name is Jeanette Starpine, and my pronouns are they or she. I am a local living here in San Diego with my partner. We have been together almost 9 years, married for 5 of those, and we have 2 cats and many plants that we take care of together. And I am just so excited to be the host for today as we have so much awesome content.
Hello, my name is Edith, and I'm honored to be a co-host next to Jeanette. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I was born and raised in the mega region of Baja California and California that I like to call San Tijuana. So it's a mix between San Diego and Tijuana. And I am based here in San Diego for the past 2 years now, and with my wife, 3 dogs, 2 cats, and 1 15-year-old fish called Pepe. And this is my first year. Yes, I know, 15 years. It's crazy. This is my first time in the committee, so I'm very honored and humbled for this opportunity. And we have an excellent agenda for you today.
Yes, and to get us started, I will also introduce what is SheFest. So like Edith said, I am also a member of our planning committee. And at SheFest, we are a volunteer committee of LGBTQ plus women and non-binary folks centering the diverse experiences of LGBTQ plus women and people who feel at home with she. Together, we foster community connections for San Diego's LGBTQ plus women and intentional allies. We combat homophobia, transphobia, and the patriarchy. And we highlight and celebrate the whole spectrum of she. We are explicitly inclusive and affirming of trans women and non-binary folks. And so today we are coming to you from so-called San Diego, California, which is land belonging to the Kumeyaay Nation. They have been stewards of this land for over 10,000 years and never ceded this land, but instead were forcibly removed from it through colonial theft, broken promises, and violence and genocide. Despite this violence, this is still Indigenous land, and it will always be so. If you would like to know whose land you occupy, we recommend that you go to native-land.ca and type in your address. If you're here in San Diego on Kumeyaay land like us, we recommend that you check out an amazing local group called the Strong-Hearted Native Women's Coalition, and definitely consider supporting them.
This year is our 8th annual SheFest flagship in San Diego. This event continues to evolve as the world around us continue to evolve. 2020, we were completely digital, and this year it's a combination between digital and in-person offerings. So sit tight, we're gonna be 2 hours with you. We have a great agenda, so get comfortable, get a coffee. This is not coffee. Get the volume of your speakers working fine, because today we're going to have music, we're going to have exercise, queer history, mindfulness, and many more subjects. Later, we will live stream into the in-person event with our colleagues there. So we want to share a big thank you for presenting our presenting sponsor, Viejas Casino, which, by the way, I have my card here because I do play in Viejas. Thank you so much for believing in us, and by doing so, also investing in this event today.
Yes, thank you very much. And I think we're ready. To get started. And so we are going to start the celebrations by grounding ourselves in some self-care. And here to speak with us about some self-care tips that we can all practice for our health and well-being is the licensed professional clinical counselor, Georgie Kelly.
Hi, my name is Georgie Kelly, and my pronouns are they, them, theirs. I'm a mental health therapist who works in private practice, and I have worked almost exclusively with the trans and non-binary communities for over 5 years. I'm here to talk to you about self-care, especially within the LGBTQIA+ and queer community. When I think about self-care, I think of ways to be gentle with myself. It's important to note that not all self-care activities are going to be right for every person. So think a moment about your own self-care. When you are stressed or feeling down, what do you do that replenishes your energy? What helps you feel better? Is there something that feels especially calming, or something that allows you to release or express your emotions? Now that you might have some idea of what has worked for you in the past, let's talk about a few things I recommend to my clients. The basic building blocks of self-care are body-based or physical activities: eating, sleeping, and exercise. If you can take care of your body, your mind is better equipped to handle stress and difficult emotions. Eating 3 meals a day with a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, having a regular sleep schedule, moving your body, and engaging in physical activities are all important. I want to add a specific note to people who use binders to reduce their chest dysphoria. During the summer and anytime you're in hot weather, make sure you're giving yourself a break from your binder and you're not wearing a binder any more than 8 to 10 hours at a time. It's important that you're able to be comfortable and safe. Next, let's think about a way to be able to sit with difficult emotions. Mindfulness is any technique that allows you to be completely conscious of the present moment. There are several apps that provide guided mindfulness exercises like Calm, Headspace, and My Life. It takes practice, like training a muscle, to really get used to mindfulness, but it can be helpful to just notice what's going on for you, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And mindfulness provides an opportunity to do just that. Mindfulness can be beneficial to everyone. If you experience dysphoria, I encourage you to be careful around checking in with yourself physically, as this could be triggering. Please seek out mental health support from a trans-affirming provider if your dysphoria is triggered easily by this kind of activity. Social support is essential, especially within marginalized communities. Finding other queer folks can be so healing and validating. Support groups at LGBTQIA+ community centers can allow you to connect with other queer folks. When you're struggling, it's essential to reach out to your friends, family, chosen family, and other people who can hold space for you. people who are safe. These folks will want to know if you're struggling and how to support you, just like you would want to know the same of them. Relationships of any kind are a two-way street, and it's okay to ask for help. These are just a few suggestions of ways to be gentle with yourself and to practice self-care. I hope you are able to enjoy SheFest and other Pride events this summer. To close, as I tell my clients, take good care. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you so much, Georgie, for those strategies for all of us to take good care of our awesome selves. I know this morning I actually used the Calm app and went for a run. So I'm super ready to give my all at the SheFest event today. And also I am loving that rainbow brick background.
I know, I love it too. Well, the past year has been a pretty serious time for many of us in our families, our communities, and pretty much the whole world because of COVID-19 pandemic. As we get back outside and get used to seeing one another, let's get some not so serious advice on how to get back and socialize. Here with us, it's Nikki Gaze.
What's up, you beautiful people out there? It's such an honor to be here with all of you. As was said, my name is Nikki Geis, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I am born and raised in San Diego, and I just love this event. I love being a part of it, and I hope everybody out there is just having an incredible, incredible time. So I get to talk to you about us coming out of this pandemic. And it was kind of interesting that those are the words that came to mind for me when thinking about what I wanted to say and share with all of you. And I thought, coming out, this seems familiar, right? So many of us have done this, maybe multiple times in our lives, to family, to friends, to our chosen family. And I was thinking that that same bravery, that same courage, that same strength that it took for us to be real and authentic with ourselves first, and then the people around us, a similar strength is necessary as we come out of this pandemic and we start being around people more and being out in our community more. And I don't know about all of you, but when I was thinking about coming out and how I would do it and what I would say, there's some emotions that went along with that, right? There was fear, and there was a little bit of the unknown. How are people going to respond? And so as we're coming out of this pandemic, I feel similar. I'm like, man, how are people going to respond? What is this going to be like? And so the cool thing about all of this is we know what that bravery feels like. We know what that courage feels like. And that's exactly what it's going to take to come out of this whole thing. I think it's an opportunity. And that's what the word that just kept coming to my mind over and over again is opportunity. What can we do with this? How can we come out of this and make it be the best it's ever been, even though we've just come out of a tough time? And so the first thing that I really think it's an opportunity to do is shine brighter, right? To shine brighter, to be more of ourselves than we ever have before. You know, this pandemic, I don't know about you all, but it was a struggle for me. And it was a time for me to say, hey, you know what? Who is it that I want to be? Who is it that I want the world to see me as? And a few things really helped me discover that again in my life. And it was books and podcasts that really made me dial in again to who I am and what's important to me. And two books in particular that I read, the first one was More Myself by Alicia Keys, who's one of my favorite music artists. And the other one was Untamed by Glennon Doyle. And both of these women lit a fire in me that hasn't been there for a long time. And that fire came from, you know what? I am strong and I am powerful. And so I want you to know that too. You are strong and you are powerful. Use this as an opportunity to catapult yourself and to be brighter than you've ever been, to letting your light shine more than you ever have, because we've come through this. And you know what? Our community is resilient. We always have been and always will be. And this is an opportunity for us to come out there and say, hey, we're still here. We're still kicking. We're still strong. And we're here to be exactly who we're meant to be. So it's an opportunity for us to be more real and more authentic than maybe we've ever been before. And that's going to translate into what we show to other people and what happens when we start to gather more. During this time, it's been interesting, right? Hopefully we've done some reflection and we've started to realize what is truly important to us. I know that I did a lot of that. I thought about it a lot. I cried a little, but I've also laughed a lot and really have started to discover a new side of who I want to be in our community. And I want that for you as well. Who is it that you want to be? You know, use this time to make that happen. And the biggest thing for me has been the importance of people. And it's always been the importance of people. People are what, man, they're the light and the strength and the support and the love and the joy and the energy that we all need and we feed off of. And we get to start doing that more now. And we can make it better than it's ever been. The thing about people is we need to be intentional, right? We need to be intentional with who we choose to hang out with and the energy we choose to keep. And we can do that now. We've been hiding for a little bit. So now we get to say, you know what? These are the people. These are my people. These are the people I want to be around. And I have reached out to people that I haven't in a long time through this thing to tell them how I really feel. And that's been something I've struggled with in my life is, man, I hold so much in. And in this time, I've realized how important it is to let the people that I love and care about know that I love and care about them. And so reaching out to people and being real with how we feel, you know, telling people that we miss them, telling people how important they are to our lives, telling people thank you and being grateful for who they are is an incredible thing that I know that I took for granted. And hopefully I can use this experience to try not to do that anymore. So we get to do that. And it's that quality over quantity, right? I remember when I was a little younger, and it was about having a ton of friends, right? If we take this analogy of like $1, it was about having 100 pennies, right? 100 friends. And as I got older, I'm like, well, maybe it's about having 10 dimes, right? Maybe it's about just having 10 great people. And now as I've gotten older again, I'm like, man, it's about those 4 quarters, right? Who are the people that love me, that care, that have supported me from day one? And when I'm around them, they fill me up, right? They fill my cup. I feel free around them. I feel myself around them. Those are the people we need to connect with first. And those are the people we need to make sure we're around as much as possible. And we can do that, right? This is that starting off point where we can begin again and really get truly connected with people, that quality over quantity. Instead of discussing, I mean, we can still talk about work, right? We can talk about our family and things like that, but let's get to the essence of who we really are. And those 2 books that I mentioned, they filled me up and they made me get back connected with the essence of who I am. And that's what we get to do now. So tell people how you really feel. Tell people that you've missed them. Hug them tighter, laugh with them more, smile, be grateful, and with intent, spend time with those people who fill you up and make you feel like yourself, that you can be held and you can be free and you can be you. That is going to be the most powerful part of us coming out of this pandemic. I can't wait to see you all out in the community. I love you all and happy Pride.
I don't know about you, but oh my God, that filled my cup. Thank you so much, Nikki, for this information. And yeah, every day we have the opportunity to think positive or not. So keep shining, Nikki. Thank you for sharing that important information. Back to you, Janet.
Yeah, that was wonderful. I think more excited about the coming out of the end of the pandemic than I have been this far. So thank you so much. And you know, as we are venturing out and coming out of this pandemic, I just loved that analogy. That was amazing. For some of us, one of the things that we get to do now, it means that we might be venturing out into the gym for the first time, or the first time in a really long time, as that was one of the spaces that were very difficult to access. So now the gym is not really for everyone. It certainly doesn't have to be, but if it is a place that you see yourself going, that you want to be in, we have some really awesome tips coming up from an amazing LGBTQ plus personal trainer, Tiffany Houston, who is going to give us some great tips for getting back into the gym after the pandemic. So over to Tiffany.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Tiffany. I use pronouns she, her, and hers. I'm a personal trainer, and I specialize in strength and conditioning and corrective exercise. And today, I am proud to give you guys 4 things to think about when you're in the gym trying to maximize your fitness routine. Number 1 piece of advice: get good at squatting. Squatting is really important for longevity. It's a good determinant of your flexibility, your strength, your joint health, your core stabilization, your awareness of how you and your body move. You don't have to start with a barbell on your back. You can simply start with a bodyweight squat, dumbbell squat, and then move up to a barbell. Just get really good and familiar with how your body moves and what a good squat looks like for you. Number 2, don't be afraid to lift heavy things. I'm going to generalize this and say, don't be afraid to resistance train. So resistance can look like, in the gym, barbells, dumbbells, resistance bands, cables and pulleys, and any of the machines that you can tack on weights with. That is resistance training. No, you will not get too muscular. No, you will not get too big of a build. If you have the right structure, there's a way to do this to where you can stay healthy, protect your joints, protect your muscles, protect your bones. Resistance training is our friend. Children are resistance. Grocery bags are also resistance. Book bags that go into school, resistance training. We need to strengthen our muscles to help keep us doing the things that we love to do on a day-to-day basis. Number 3, keep things fresh. I'm a fan of routines. I'm a fan of having structure and programming, but you can't do the same routine for 2 years and wonder why you're not making any changes. Make sure you're incorporating new exercises, or if it's the same exercise, use a different weight, move in a different angle. All of those things are really important for our bodies to get acclimated to. You have to shock the body, shock the muscles. By shock, I mean introduce them to new stimulus. That's what's going to help your muscles grow, help your body to adapt to new things and be ready for anything. So yeah, keep things fresh, incorporate new things into your routine, maybe every couple weeks, every couple months, but you definitely should not be doing the same thing for the rest of your life. And last but not least, number 4, do not be afraid to ask questions. Please ask questions. Personal trainers are here to help you. If you're in a gym setting and there are people at the front desk, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, they are more than willing to help you achieve your goals. We get tired of looking at bad form too. You know, we don't want to see you wandering around the gym doing squats wrong, doing all your exercises in your routine wrong. We want to help you. Use us.
Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us, Tiffany. I love grocery bags as resistance. I'm gonna think about the next time I'm carrying my groceries from the car to my apartment and maybe include some lunges. So we're just so grateful for what you've shared with us. And I wanna say that we will be spotlighting folks like Tiffany all throughout the live stream today. So stay tuned for some more awesome content.
Another thing we're going to be spotlighting throughout today's live stream is local music by LGBTQ plus artists. Now, this is just relax. Enjoy the melodic sounds of Juliana Zachariou, who describes herself as a decent writer of songs and a terrible writer of bios. Get ready for this exclusive performance on SheFest. Here it's Juliana.
Hi, SheFest. It's Juliana Zachariou from her bedroom. I am so excited to be doing this and be a part of celebrating Pride Month with you. This is a single that just came out this last Friday, and I hope you enjoy it. Underneath the pacing fitted carpet that we picked out together in the fall, soft to the touch, it didn't cost much, just a ticket to the movie. And we took it home and rolled it up and laid there till the dawn. Underneath our tired house is a slab of stone, as beautiful as marble. We bought it on the telephone, and anytime we're bumping and scratching and kicking in the kitchen, that old stone and stop the floor from keeping it. We got so much. Becky, can you hear me? We got so much looking for us. We got so much. Becky, can you hear me? We got so much looking for us. Underneath the singer is a child, terrified of letting someone in. But you roughed her up and gave her love like she's never known before. And now she's playing like a child again. But we got so much. Becky, can you hear me? We got so much looking for us. We got so much. Becky, can you hear me? We got so much looking for us.
garden that we planted just started growing, and the berries and the flowers are barely showing. And anytime the frost doesn't feel worth it, just remember all the roots beneath the surface. 'Cause we got so much. Becky, can you hear me? We got so much working for us. So much. Can you hear me? Yeah, we got so much. We got so much. Yeah, we got so much. Yeah, we got so much. We got so, yeah, we got so much. We got so much. Looking forward, Becky.
Thank you.
Bravo!
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that was lovely. There is just something about an acoustic guitar that always gets me. And yeah, thank you, Juliana, for that intimate performance. It's actually been really incredible how during the past year, right during COVID, we've gotten so much closer to musicians and even right having performances in their own bedrooms. But I do know that I am definitely looking forward to getting back out and going to actual concerts. And exciting news is that you can actually go see Juliana perform at the Soda Bar on Saturday, July 24th.
All right. I'm going to pencil it down on my agenda. July 24th. That was beautiful performance. And you know what? I also would like to go to not just one concert, many concerts. But the thing is, it requires a budget. And for this, we need to pay attention on the next segment from Callie at Chillax Finance, that she's going to share some very important on how to go from broke to badass.
Hi, I'm Callie, a friendly financial coach. I don't really want to throw shade, but let's get an uncomfortable truth out of the way. The financial services industry is overwhelmingly pale, male, and stale. And because of that, it can be really uncomfortable for many people who don't fit into those three boring boxes to want to work with a financial planner. My name is Callie Ingebrigtsen, and I'm here for the people who get overlooked by most of the financial services industry. I created Chillax Finance because I want everyone, no matter where they come from, to feel joyful and confident with their money. That is my passion. Let's dive into the top question that I get as a financial coach, which is how can I make a budget that I can stick to? My answer to that is the 50-30-20 budget. In a 50-30-20 budget, there are three main categories that are basically percentages that add up to 100%. Those three categories are essentials, savings and debt, and fun. Let's take a closer look. Using a 50-30-20 budget, 50% of your income should go towards your essentials, 30% can go towards fun, and 20% should go towards savings and debt if you currently have debt. Nobody's budget is precisely going to follow exactly 50, 30, and 20%, but these guidelines are helpful so that you stay balanced and don't go too far over or under in any one category. A few steps that I recommend is step 1, figure out your take-home pay. If you're salaried, take a look at your most recent paycheck And if you get paid hourly, take a look at your paychecks from the last 3 to 6 months to get an average because it can fluctuate. Once you know your take-home pay, you'll want to divide your paycheck. So let's look at an example of someone who makes $4,000 a month. That would mean that they'd want to keep their essentials to about $2,000 per month. Their fun expenses should be no more than $1,200 a month, and they should make sure to put about $800 towards savings and any debt payments that they may have. Step 3 is to open accounts for each category. I recommend that at a minimum, my clients have the types of accounts listed here. It's valuable to have at least 2 separate checking accounts, one just for bills and one for fun, and then 2 different savings accounts, one for emergencies and another one for fun savings as well. Feel free to add any other accounts that would bring you clarity. For example, I have clients that have accounts just for car expenses, pet expenses, travel savings, and more. Step 4 is to have your paycheck split into multiple accounts. Most employers these days actually allow your direct deposit to be split across multiple accounts instead of just being dumped in one account. So following that example from earlier where someone makes $4,000 a month, they would want to have about $2,000 go into a checking account just for their bills, $1,200 go into a checking account just for fun, and then about $800 for emergency savings and any debt payments that they have going into a separate checking account. If you're ready to go from broke to badass and want some free resources to get you headed in the right direction with your money, I invite you to sign up for Up Your Money Game, a 5-day course to improve your finances in less than 30 minutes a day. And if you'd like to know if we're a good fit to work together one-on-one, feel free to schedule a complimentary 30-minute discovery call with me. Together, we can build your savings, create a budget you can actually stick to, and knock out debt. Both of these are available at chillaxfinance.com. Thank you so much, and happy Pride.
And there you go. How many aha moments did you have there? My fun budget, it's like the essential budget, so I'm like a 50% fun person. Hey, what do you think, Jeanette?
Yeah, that was like very informative few minutes. And as someone who is mostly financially illiterate, I really enjoyed it. I am definitely signing up for Up Your Money Game.
We need to do that, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So we actually have yet another expert coming up who is going to tell us about how you can turn your passions into activism and organizing. I'm really excited for this segment. And joining us is Kai Guzman, an organizer for the ACLU of San Diego and Imperial Counties, and a board member at the North County LGBTQ Center. So let's go over to Kai.
Hey everyone, my name is Kai. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. Identify as queer, trans, non-binary. Happy Pride, everybody. I'm here to talk about what advice I would give to someone who's wanting to mold their passions into advocacy, activism, or any kind of movement making of sorts. And the best way that I could give that advice is really through, I think, different phases that I went through in wanting to get involved. And those are kind of been threefold. So those are building your home, journaling, and calling in your ancestors. And for me, what those essentially mean, first, is building your home. As a part of the LGBTQIA+ community, we have complex emotions and complex experiences as well. And that's really unique for us to have. And so for me, part of what building my home is, before I think about getting involved, and even if I'm already involved, one of the most important things is knowing that my first home is me and what's inside of me. So being able to spend time with yourself and know that's also activism and part of movement making, and probably the most important kind of changing the world, is really looking inside and being able to spend time with yourself and know, okay, this is my home and I can feel comfortable in what I'm building. And maybe there are some things that I don't feel comfortable talking about yet, or that I'm not ready for, or that maybe are still really fresh and hurt, right? I can put those in a box in my home, or I could put them maybe in my attic if that's what I want. Maybe there's other things that I bring me joy and bring me comfort and bring me happiness. And so those are the little plants that I want to put around in my home, and I want to feel happy there. I want to be able to feel happy inside and make sure that I prioritize that, because that's so important. The second part of this is journaling. And to me, essentially, that means, one of the things that I learned was it's so important to try a little bit of everything, from organizing in a grassroots space or being part of grassroots organizations and school clubs, to getting involved in nonprofits and being able to reach out to them and doing those one-on-ones with some of those organizations. And it meant doing it at a local level. It can mean doing it in a state level or even a national level. And nevertheless, I would always carry around my journals and kind of write down things that I liked and things that I was learning, things that I was drawn to. And then in the end, I kind of looked at it and I was like, okay, this is a lot of different things that I've been able to be exposed to. And all those things taught me things that I liked, things that I felt drawn to, things that helped me feel like, oh yeah, this is where I was meant to be. This is how I can really and want to show up in the world, right? And there's other, pages where I was like, okay, this is like a part that maybe I didn't like this experience. I didn't like doing this. So I learned, right? And then the third piece of my advice is calling in your ancestors. And for me, that really means being able to find joy in your work. And calling in your ancestors is so important because, it's important that we are guided by this real and clear desire to be happy and to know that we are living our ancestors' wildest dreams today by getting to be who we are in this point, in this time, to be able to breathe right now. And so no matter what you do and where you go and what particular issue you get involved with or piece of the work you end up doing, at the end of the day, it's just so important to know that you being able to breathe and to feel joy and to be able to experience that and call in those when you're lost or you're confused because you want to be happy and you deserve to feel peace and happiness. That is the most important thing that you can be able to do. So I hope my advice was helpful. And for all those wishing to get involved, wish you all the best of luck and happy Pride.
Okay, next we're joined by our the founder of the House of Resilience, Achi Vasquez, who is here to talk about her passion and the incredible work she's doing for trans women in San Diego and Tijuana. Welcome.
Hi, Achi. It's so great to have you here.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Hi, Edith. Hi, Jeanette.
Hi.
It's nice to see both of you. Thank you for having me on the program. I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity. Yes, my name is Achi Vasquez. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm the director and founder of the House of Resilience. What we are is a programming and aid organization in San Diego and Tijuana for both trans women of color, trans men, non-binary people, and just the LGBT community in general. But we like to focus on a lot is trans women of color. That's actually what I am. I'm a trans woman of color myself. And a lot of our work stems from my own personal experiences, growing up trans and going through my transition. And so a big goal of the services and the programs that we offer at the House of Resilience come from, my own needs that I wasn't able to unfortunately get, when I was growing up as a young trans woman. And so what that kind of manifested itself into is, we currently offer a large variety of programs. We have 2 online weekly support groups that have fostered great communities here in San Diego and Tijuana. Within our queer community, we have a community closet where we reach out, we get gender-affirming clothes to a lot of trans women in San Diego and Tijuana, especially. We have things like micro grants. We have things like referrals to, like, for example, the Legal Aid Society for name changes and gender marker changes. And a lot of other things. We're actually fundraising for San Diego's first 100% free community housing program for other trans women of color, so that they can have a space to just really work on themselves and work on their transition and not have to worry about all the things that come with being a trans woman, especially a trans woman of color. Our biggest project that we're actually working on, which I'm actually inside of right now, is we're opening our first physical location here in Tijuana. It's right across the border from San Diego, and we're opening a coffee shop / thrift store. Be a jobs program for trans women of color that live here in Tijuana, as well as provide a source of recurring income for the organization, and just provide a safe space for the LGBT community here in Tijuana and San Diego, because it's very much needed. And so that's just the gist of, everything that we do here at the House of Resilience. And, I just wanted to say, I heard in the last video we were talking about, what we can do to be if you want to get involved in advocacy work and organizing work. And I think that the best thing to do personally would be to meet your community, to really get into the community where a lot of underserved people are, and really get in there and talk to them and speak to them, and, form these relationships with other women, trans men, non-binary people, because they are the ones that need our help. And so with that, I think that's pretty much everything about my rinky-dink little organization. And once again,
there's nothing neat about it.
Yeah, that was, I mean, you offer so many incredible resources and programs. I am so glad that you've come on to share some of those with SheFest, with our audience who's listening. And I guess my question is, how can folks, support and also get connected with House of Resilience and all of the other incredible offerings that you just talked about?
Yeah, most definitely. So the best way to support us is monetarily. We actually haven't been getting a lot of donations recently, and these donations that people give us are really, really imperative and really important in getting things like micro grants out to people that pay for things like emergency HRT when people have no money, clothing, food, enough to finish rent. These things are also important for all the future programs we're building, as well as the housing initiative that we really want to create here in San Diego. So, honestly, support us with your wallets, give trans people money, and let us lead the work for our own community, would be the best thing that I could probably say. I missed, what was the last part of your question again?
And then how can people get connected? So maybe somebody who would like to use some of the services that you offer, how can they get connected with you as well?
Yeah, so we have a website. That website is horsd.org. That's HORSD.org. Sorry, let me just start over here. They're actually doing work in the coffee shop right now, so I'm doing some dual work. But we have a website, that's horsd.org. And if you go under the services tab, you can actually get a list of a lot of the services that we provide, which is actually going to be updated again soon. But if you want to get involved, the best thing to do is to reach out to our Instagram, which is at the House of Resilience. And our website is a great way to contact us. We also have an email that's on the website if you'd like to contact us. For things that are not monetary donations at the moment, we are seeking unused undergarments for women's, preferably larger sizes. That goes with brand new shoes as well, something that we're frequently asked for. We are also searching for volunteers right now. So we're searching for volunteers in things like social media, and things like building brand, and things like managing our TikTok and stuff like that, because we really want to get out to the people that can provide us with even more help. And so with that, I believe that's everything.
Muchas felicidades, Achi, por ese esfuerzo. Bravo,
Gracias.
bravísimo, bravísimo. I'm going to visit you in the coffee shop. So tell me more about the importance of this coffee. ¿Qué es para ustedes? ¿Es para beneficio de ustedes?
Yeah, so the importance of the coffee shop, I'm actually here in the coffee shop right now if you want to give you a little tour. It's something that we've been working on for a while now, and the importance of it is not only to make money for the organization, which is also very important, as we do not get a lot of grants. We do a lot of our fundraising through grassroots effort, through small donations. So this coffee shop is really important, not only because of that, but also because it's going to be paying a living wage to multiple trans women of color that live here in Tijuana. A place where the same protections that exist in California don't exist here. And so what happens a lot of the time here are trans women are not even, they don't even get to the point where they get an interview. Or if they do, they finish the interview and they're never heard back from the employer again. And so something like that is really, really important to the community here. And then also, I think the last thing is kind of understated, is that we just need more safe spaces in our community that are unapologetically queer. I think that's something that we don't see a lot of the time. I think a lot of companies think that being vulnerable in that way, or showcasing that side, is very controversial. In my mind, I don't think it is. I just think it's humans. We all love each other, and it's something that we share a common interest in. I think that's why most of us are gathered here today, even. And so having that safe space, I think, just fosters a a think tank for other young queers and young trans people and young gay people, et cetera, to kind of have a space where they can just interface with each other and feel safe and make even more amazing things for the community.
Perfect. I'm pretty sure we're going to be working with everyone there soon. Thank you so much for sharing this importance of this community, and especially in Tijuana, which I know has nothing to do with the community in San Diego. They're more abandoned, if you want to call it that way, in Tijuana than they are here. So I applaud you, and thank you so much for sharing this amazing project that you have.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I just wanted to, right before I leave, I wanted to hit on that little thing about Tijuana and San Diego. I think that there actually is a very large connection between the two countries, as two cities right on the cusp of one another. I think that there's a large community that goes back and forth, that oftentimes doesn't get recognized as well. And I think working together to kind of unify our communities brings us a lot of aid from both places. So with that, I just wanted to close. Thank you so much for having me, Edith and Janet and She Fest. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Achi. That was wonderful. And yeah, definitely, I'm just going to echo the comments that you can support with your wallet.
Yes.
And head over to House of Resilience website and support that incredible organization. Yeah, and definitely go to the coffee shop if you have the chance. That sounds so cool.
We can carpool.
Yeah. Okay, well, from that, the incredibleness of that interview, we are going to move forwards with some music. And what we have up next is some local San Diego artists, Natalie and Jessica Duran, who are going to bring us some smooth and powerful hip hop. I am so excited. So let's bring on Natalie and Jessica.
She Fest, San Diego Pride, everybody at home.
What's good? Let's go.
Yeah. I've been going through it in my head like, whoa. Take it from the top, can you drop it to the floor? Like to put a show on when you faded, I know. Playing these games, I could tell you wanna go. Don't worry. Playing these games, yeah, I know you wanna go. Don't worry. Checkmate, bad bitch, and she about to claim the throne. Don't worry, I'm looking. Don't worry. Checkmate, bad bitch, and she about to claim the throne. Don't worry, I'm looking. Don't worry. I'm looking for the right kind of wrong way on the highway. I've been trying to figure out how to do it my way. This is my time, you ain't ever catching my wave, nah. You ain't catching my wave. Y'all ain't got the juice or the troops, boy. Troops, boy. He can't fight, so we shoot, boy. Shoot, boy. Spit them all out like a true toy. Bad bitch energy, you know that I'm the truth, boy. Women are winning and ain't no way that you can stop that. I'm riding through the city with the motherfucking top bag. Feeling like a top dog, underdog, baseball. You ain't stopping me, ho. I've been going through it in my head like, whoa. Take it from the top, can you drop it to the floor? Like to put a show on when you faded, I know. Playing these games, I could tell you wanna go. Don't worry. Playing these games, yeah, I know you wanna go. Don't worry. Checkmate, bad bitch, and she about to claim a throne. See you keeping eye from the sideline. Looking my way, I can tell you wanna go. Surfing my wave, hit that pipeline. But she about to claim a throne. Don't worry, baby, I'ma be okay. I'm walking around with real good company. I've been going through it in my head like, whoa. Take it from the top, can you drop it to the floor? Like to put a show on when you faded, I know. Playing these games, I could tell you wanna go. Don't worry. Playing these games, yeah, I know you wanna go. Don't worry. Checkmate, bad bitch, and she about to claim the throne. Don't worry. I'm looking. Don't worry. I'm looking for the right kind of wrong. San Diego Pride, She Fest. We are Natalie and Jessica Durand. We hope you guys are having an amazing Pride, and we hope to get to perform more for you next time. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody at home. Let's go. Till next time.
I got chills.
Yes.
Yes.
Me too. Like I have chills throughout the whole performance. I'm in love.
I see myself in a concert with them and just.
Yes, and you know what's really exciting is they're actually performing in San Diego very soon. You can go see Natalie and Jessica Durand perform at the SD State of Mind album release party, which is on July 14th at the Casbah.
We have time.
We definitely have the opportunity to go out and support them and see them perform in person.
Perfect. Now we have 2 dates. Right?
Yeah, a couple of days. A couple of days to get there. Awesome. Well, yeah, that was just such a good performance. So now let's move on to our next segment. And in addition to the COVID-19 pandemic and all of what last year has brought us, we also saw a tragic and unprecedented rise in anti-LGBTQ legislation. In fact, 2021 has actually been the worst year on record, with over 250 anti-LGBTQ bills released in the state legislatures across the country, particularly targeting transgender women and girls. It is absolutely infuriating to see our community being targeted like this. And so to tell us a little bit more about what's going on and how we can help stop it, we are going to go over to Heron Greensmith, who's a senior research analyst at Political Research Associates, who monitors anti-LGBTQI rhetoric, and also Maya Reddy, a queer South Asian former professional golfer and LGBTQ+ athlete activist. So let's go over to the two of them.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maya Reddy. I am a former professional golfer, LGBTQ+ athlete activist, and a current 3L at University of Pennsylvania Law School, yelling about kind of this swath of anti-trans legislation that's cropping up this year and over the past few years, which is actually why Heron and I are here to talk about it and just have a conversation and vent a little bit.
Yeah, my name is Heron Greensmith. I'm a senior research analyst for LGBTQI justice at Political Research Associates, where I research the anti-LGBT right. I am an attorney, so I really empathize with Rising 3L. This is a good summer, a hard summer, and you got this. It's going to be incredible. I research anti-trans feminists and anti-sex work feminists and conversion therapy and the Christian right, and obviously that all leads into what we're talking about today. So let's just dive in. And Maya, as a past professional athlete, I would love to hear kind of like how you feel, what it truly means to protect women's sports. That's like the calling card right now, right? Save women's sports. But like, what does that actually mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Save Women's Sports right now has been co-opted into this excuse for anti-trans policies and legislation. But I think in addition to that, we've been having a lot of conversations complicating what save women or protecting women's sports means this year. We saw it with the NCAA's, nonsense with the women's March Madness and the facilities given to women's collegiate players versus men's collegiate players. We saw it again in the NCAA, qualifying rounds for women's golf, where they were like, oh no, there's a droplet of rain. We're going to cancel this entire tournament. And just, it sucks to suck seniors who aren't going to get an opportunity to play at nationals. And so we're having all of that happening at the same time that we're seeing folks, a lot of cis female high profile athletes saying that trans women playing in sports is like a harm to women. And that's complete crap because as, referring to the NCAA, right? Like what is the real harm to women's sports is like there aren't opportunities. One, there isn't funding. One, two, there isn't a lot of, there's the excuse of nobody wants to watch women's sports. And then, CEG, the US women's national team that had the highest ratings for the World Cup. You can also see it recently. What was the tournament recently? There was like an insane, it was the US Women's Open for golf, had like really high numbers of viewership. So it's not like people don't want to watch women's sports, it's just misogyny and this perception that like women are less than, but that in itself is harming women's sports, not trans athletes playing in sports. And also, trans women are women, so keeping women out of sports, no matter how they identify, is, again, hurting women's sports. And so if you're focusing on this kind of like very, very niche issue, this discriminatory issue of keeping trans women out of sports or trans athletes out of sports, then you're allowing what is actually harming women's sports to continue. Lack of funding, lack of visibility, lack of opportunities and resources. And it's just like a dog whistle to be transphobic. To which I say, if you're venting about trans women playing in sports, why not spend more energy on being good at your sport instead of being transphobic?
So I agree. Tell me a little bit about how Title IX, which is the federal law that protects against sex discrimination in education, including on the basis of gender identity and including in sports, how that actually protects trans folks in sports right now.
Yeah, so recently it's kind of like nice that we don't have to speculate and argue against folks that Title IX does protect folks on the basis of gender identity and sexual orientation, because last week the Department of Education just issued guidance expanding Title IX's protections to include gender identity and sexual orientation explicitly. So we no longer have to kind of like continue to cite Bostock and be like, hey, this is analogous to Title IX, even though it's a employment discrimination statute. And so basically, Title IX is protecting folks against discrimination on the basis of sex. Gender identity and sexual orientation are intrinsically part of an experience of sex, whether that be, like sexuality or gender identity. And so if we are not protecting folks on the basis of their gender identity and sexual orientation, then Title IX isn't doing its job. So, we're seeing more and more, thankfully, from this administration is paying more and more attention to, like what Title IX and sex discrimination actually means. And so not only do we have those expansions from the Department of Education last week, but we also had the DOJ submit a statement of interest in a West Virginia case, fighting against an anti-trans bill there that said not only is it a violation to keep trans women out of girls' sports of Title IX, but it is also a violation of the Equal Protection Amendment, which is the 14th Amendment, which, for me, says all that there really needs to be said about why Title IX doesn't, isn't a transphobic statute.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it makes me think kind of a lot about how did this even come to be? Like, why is this even, like, how did, the Christian right, basically how did this become like the current linchpin issue against LGBTQ folks?
Yeah, the Christian right has been banging this gong for so long, the gong of gender essentialism, right? The gong of like this kind of like really narrow theological interpretation of the Christian Bible that like not even the majority of Christians believe, that God designed a man and a woman. We can talk about the whys, but it's like the hows that are really important to me too, so that we know who our enemy is and who to combat. And right now, along with this rise in anti-trans sports litigation, there's also, as we were talking about off air, this rise in anti-trans healthcare bills too. And they're all coming from mostly the same place, which is this coalition of Christian right, evangelical right organizations that are right now calling themselves the Promise to America's Children. And at the heart of the Promise to America's Children are the Alliance Defending Freedom, the Heritage Foundation, and the Family Policy Alliance. And they're supported by, other groups who are around this core. So we have the other Christian right organizations, including the Pacific Justice Institute and the Beckett Fund, who are also supporting state legislation and also bringing litigation at the state and federal level. Then you have this cadre of evangelical right associated anti-trans medical organizations, such as the American College of Pediatricians, not to be confused with the actual, American group of baby doctors, but this is like specifically a very fringe anti-trans organization. And then you have, importantly for the connecting the two, you have anti-trans feminists who are doing a lot of heavy lifting around these anti-trans sports bills, specifically the organization Save Women's Sports. Beth Stelzer, who has been testifying on behalf and support of many of these bills, and really providing the talking points, both for the evangelical right organizations who are supporting the bills and litigating on behalf of the very few cis students who have been persuaded that their participation in sports is threatened by trans people, instead of exactly what you were saying, funding, opportunities, facilities. And of course, you didn't mention, but I do want to make sure we talk about it, rampant sexual abuse in sports. Like, there are so many dangers facing women and girls sports that do not include the inclusion of multiple gender identities within sports. Do you have anything, we're wrapping up, do you have anything to say, like, for talking points people can use to disrupt the anti-trans talking points?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that everything that you said, like being aware of where, you're getting this information from, where you're hearing these statements from, and then also, like, as far as action steps, Heron, how this obviously fits into like the bigger picture. And so how and why should we be caring about both the anti-trans sports bills and the anti-trans medical bills, and kind of like how this fits into the larger picture?
Yeah, I think number one action item for us right now is to support the Equality Act, right? The Equality Act is federal legislation that would prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity in multiple contexts, including explicitly in education, explicitly in places of public accommodation, explicitly in employment. We lack these protections at the federal level in legislation. We have, the Bostock case, which you cited, understands that Title VII in the employment context includes gender identity, but we really need explicit, strong protections. I would say reach out to your senators right now. It already passed the House this year. We need senators, specifically Senators Joe Manchin and Kirsten Gillibrand, to understand that the filibuster is not doing anything for queer Americans right now, especially trans folks. We need to end the filibuster and support the Equality Act. Yay! Yay, women's sports.
Yay, women's sports. Yay, access to healthcare. Healthcare is a human right, and everyone should have access to that, and we should not be creating exceptions that allow more policing and more restrictions on bodies. But yeah, just keep paying attention. You can go to transathlete.com to find research, research as well as resources on how you can attack these bills and support, actually support women's in sports, and everything that Heron just said. Also follow Heron on Instagram and Twitter, because they have a lot of great resources as well, and excellent commentary on the nonsense that is happening out there in the world.
Thank you, Maya, and have a great Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
Bye.
Thank you so much for that conversation, Maya and Heron. If you missed those important action steps that they mentioned that you can do to step up and support women's sports, we have got them on a slide right now. So go ahead and take a screen cap. Like, do it right now. Take a screen cap. Awesome.
All right. I hope everyone actually took a picture there. And just to be clear, SheFest stands with our trans community. Trans women are women, period. We also know our history and recognize that the Pride movement was built by trans folks, particularly Black and brown trans people. We are grateful, and we must do more than just be grateful.
Yes. And trans and gender non-conforming folks continue to be targets for hatred and violence at disproportionately higher rates. 2020 was sadly a record-breaking year for fatal anti-trans violence, with a loss of 44 reported victims. And already in 2021, an additional 31 members of our trans community have been taken by violence, setting this year up to be even worse than the last. We must do more than just be grateful. And here are the names of the folks that we have lost this year. And while it is incredibly important to remember those who have been taken from us, it is vital that we support those who are still with us. And so if you have the means, we encourage you and just hope that you will show your support for trans people by donating to organizations here in San Diego and nationally that specifically help trans people in finding resources and celebrating their existence with joy and resilience. And so here are a couple of the groups that we are donating to and supporting. And if you have the means, we recommend that you do the same, right? Supporting with your wallet. So we've got the Black Trans Emergency Fund by the San Diego Black LGBTQ Coalition, the Housing of Trans Women of Color Fund by the House of Resilience, who we had on a little bit earlier. And we have Queering the Path and Proyecto Trans Latina. These are just a couple of the organizations that we are donating to and supporting, and encourage you to do the same.
Okay, thank you, Jeanette, for giving us that information. And we're gonna change gears for a little bit. I'm really excited for the next couple that we're gonna talk to. Our next guests are totally inspirational. They combine the outdoors with self-empowerment. Can you imagine how important that is? And they're just really general badasses, or I call it chingonas. Mujeres chingonas, okay? That's not a bad word, it's actually a compliment. So we're grateful for the sponsorship of REI for putting us in touch with them. Let's give it up for Kenya and Michelle, the founders of Outdoor Journal Tours. Hello, ladies.
Hello, 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 hello.
How you
hello.
doing?
So
We are
good.
we're
It's great to
really
see you
well.
all.
We're so excited to have you. I want to talk of everything.
It was also a beautiful intro. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like,
Ooh, you're talking about us. Yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about the mission of Outdoor Journal Tours.
Okay, so so here's the elevator pitch. Ahem. The Outdoor Journal Tour is a hybrid health organization that combines the healing tenets of outdoor activity with mindful meditation and introspective journaling. So pretty much we do wellness work in outdoor spaces specifically for women.
And is it just only in San Diego or where?
We are
actually
based way across the country. We are in Atlanta.
Well, tell me more about it so I can travel there.
Yeah, well, we actually, thanks to REI, we did some actual touring. So we have done some group hikes in other parts of the country. We have not made it to Southern California yet. So it's going to be time. Of course, it's all pre-pandemic.
This
right?
is all pre-pandemic.
Oh,
we was out here. We were traveling.
Yeah.
You know,
We did the Bay Area, Chicago, Charlotte.
DC. Yep.
So Southern California is definitely added to the list. I love San Diego.
Yeah.
And all you need is an invitation, and here you are.
Listen, we ready. We're vaccinated and ready to get back out there. Vaccinated. I said vaccinated. But normally we'll go to a place, pick a popular outdoor location. It could be a park, it could be a mountain, it could be a waterfall, get a bunch of women outside, do a hike, get nice and tired, and then deep dive into some sister circle work, some meditation, some journaling, some group activities, things like that. And it's always a really awesome experience. And so we've been doing that for 6 years now. So we're super excited about it.
Wow. And what happened 6 years ago that you decided to get started?
It's actually it's a kind of a random story. It's an interesting story. We were out. So I always say that I'm the one that is like kind of the outdoor piece. I've always liked doing stuff outdoors. Kim has always been into mindfulness and meditation. So we actually went to a local park here with some friends. We were up at the summit, and Kim was like, "Oh, I really want to, lead you all in a meditation." So we all obliged, and we were sitting there with our eyes closed. When we opened our eyes, 2 women had joined us, and they were pretty much like, "We want to join the program." And we were looking at them like,
"Girl,
we don't know you." There's also no program, but okay, maybe there should be. And from there, it just, we were never like thinking about doing something like this. We really were just kind of, we were in our early 30s, that weird age where you're trying to figure out where you're going, what you're doing, why you're doing it. Yeah.
Why you're doing it.
So just trying to kind of ease some of our own anxiety, depression, just stress of everyday life, and, just trying to do some different things. And it's grown. It's grown from that moment.
Wow, congratulations. And how was last year during the pandemic? Was it something that people was looking for, or just decided to?
Yes, I think yes. But so here's the thing. So we mentioned that we're in Atlanta, right? So of course, with you all being in a big city, we're in a big city, you recognize the pandemic really hit us hard. And so very early, I want to say like late March, early April, we were completely shut down and we weren't really able to do anything. We weren't able to go out. And so it didn't happen until maybe say like June-ish, where some people started getting outside more. But that was right around the time that you started seeing the just excessive violence against Black people, people of color. So in Atlanta, we had Ahmaud Arbery that happened, I want to say in June. And then right after George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. So we were really caught up in the maintenance of the Black community as far as wellness work last year during what would have been our tour season. So not only could we not tour, but we also were really inundated with like dealing with some of the requests that we had from sponsors or different people we were connected to kind of help heal, you know, and just address the grief of people of color.
And really just having conversations. But
Yeah.
but we really, it was not a huge pivot for us because we were already doing a lot of things online, but we basically went entirely virtual.
Yep.
So we had a lot more, you know, at the beginning of the Zoom craze.
We did kits, we hiked people at home, we sent out journaling and meditation kits with little plants in it and, you know, candles and stuff like that. So we really
Just trying to reach people where they were.
Yeah.
You know?
But was it
So-
tough? Yes, it was
Yes,
tough.
it was.
It was tough for a lot of reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeanette, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I can't believe you sent kits out to people to do hikes with them. That is such a beautiful thing. I love that idea. Right, there's so much adaptation that happened during the past year and a half. I think we keep saying a year, but it's like a year and a half now.
It is.
Oh yeah. It took me over a year. Our baby is 18 months at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The pandemic baby is 18 months. She's walking. Is walking now.
Yes. And in addition to like the hikes, and you mentioned it briefly in the like how you started story where someone just sat down to do the meditation with you. And so this mindfulness is like a really big part, it seems like, of what you're all about. Maybe can you tell us a little bit more like why and what does that mean for you all, the mindfulness aspect of it?
Y'all, life is complicated.
Yeah.
Life is hard at all of our intersectionalities.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different thing, stuff, work, family, you know, there's just so much. You can't even narrow it down to one particular thing. But we recognize in ourselves, like truly just needing a space to kind of pause and reflect, like where is this anxiety coming from? What is it? You know, what am I really anxious about? Just having a moment to think about that and to actually have a community to talk about it with, because what we find is that we're typically not alone in what we're feeling or what we're going through.
Yeah.
Very frequently other women are having very similar experiences, maybe, you know, in different ways, but the underlying feelings of stress, of anxiety, of, you know, feeling like you're not good enough, imposter syndrome, you know, feeling like, you know, you're just, there's always something. You know, humaning is hard. Adulting is even harder. So just creating that space, creating a safe space for people to really just be able to connect back within, but then also with community and with Mother Nature, because I personally have found a lot of healing, just feeling like I am connected to like a small part of this very vast ecosystem. So it's very layered, but hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a loaded question, like what is mindfulness and how is it, why is it important? I love the idea of being connected to the earth, right? That's it really puts everything into perspective in such a powerful way. I love that. Yeah, and I don't know, I just love this outdoor journal tour like concept. I watched your there's like a little YouTube video about like an intro video.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
so amazing. And but I want to sort of ask another question about being in outdoor spaces, and that this is not a place, like it's such a healing place, but it's not a place that everybody feels like they can go. Maybe they don't feel safe there. Do you have any ideas for how someone can sort of be outside and find that as a place of safety and healing?
Well,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
One of the things that I feel like has been most important for us is just visibility, right? Visibility. So when we first started Outdoor Journal Tour, we were a little sensitive, or I was sensitive, you know what I mean, about being kind of out, people knowing that Jackson Salters is our family name, meaning our married name, not this is my sister or my cousin, like this is actually my wife. And I was sensitive about that. Also sensitive about people knowing that we were Black, because I thought that if people knew that we were Black and gay and married, people, they're never coming outside with this. Like, they're like, what kind of what are y'all doing out there? You know what I mean? I was very sensitive about that. But over time, I've realized that our visibility in all the ways that we show up has been important. And so just a very simple thing to do is, as other people who are queer identified or, you know, people of color, be present and be visible and be vocal about who you are. And also, when you do have the ear of brands, or when you do have the ear of different spaces that we occupy, let them know what it is that we want, let them know what it is that we're needing and what we're missing. And I feel like that has been really well received, to be honest, you know, with you all. When brands approach us or different spaces we want to go to, they talk to us, we're very vocal about, well, this is what our concerns are, and we have had good response. So being visible is the first thing I would say. Also, being vocal is the second thing. You know, if you have a bad experience in a place or with a brand, shout them out, at them. You know, let them know that we are here. We pay our entrance fees like everybody else. We buy the gear like everybody else. We deserve to feel safe. We deserve to feel wanted and included. And I think that not shuddering and sheltering and running away, I know that that's like a protective thing. We don't want to, I don't know, make waves, but I think that sometimes making waves is the way that you actually make change. So that would be my piece of advice. But Michelle's more the outdoors person than me, so she camps and all that kind of stuff. So I'd love to know.
The only thing that I would really add is, you know, starting where you are. And, you know, we have intuition for a reason, you know, and if you're feeling unsafe, it's not always necessarily to white knuckle through things. You know, you start where you are. So if that means, you know, city parks, neighborhood walks, also trying to join some local groups. Now, again, of course, during the pandemic, it was a little bit different, but joining other, you know, affinity groups, there's a lot of great resources on Instagram, Unlikely Hikers, Women Who Hike, they're Outdoor Afro. Like, there's a lot of different groups that will do different events outside. So it's kind of a way to get yourself out there with other people who you identify with. But sometimes when you have other people around, you feel a little bit safer. Doesn't always, you know, equal nothing's going to happen, which of course, knocking on all the wood, but you know, just starting where you are. And the whole point is for it to feel good and to have fun while you're doing it. So kind of start where you are, and then just, you know, build up and try new things and bring people along with you, or a dog if you have one.
Oh, you just said the magic word. And this program, is it a 1 day? Is it a 2 day? How does it work?
Go. We are having
detalles.
Our first camp out, our first overnight event. We're so excited. It's happening next month. So previously we only did day hikes, like you know,
hours, 2-3 hours.
We've done other events, numerology, that sort of thing. But we are starting numerology into it.
We need to do something.
I am number 11 and 17, I think. The other day a girl told me. And
11. 11. I was like, can't be 11, 17, but
no. 11.
Yeah, okay.
No, continue. I'm sorry to interrupt. It's just that when you said numerology, yo, perdón.
But it's all tools to kind of get to know ourselves better and to share, you know, to just create community at the root of everything. But our first overnight event, which shout out to REI because they are hooking it up for us, which is amazing, and Hip Camp, of course. So that's going to be our first overnight. So we're hoping to make that annual. It's going to be like a retreat style. We're going to have someone doing, like, we have a moonlight meditation and sound bath. We're going to do yoga, nature walks. It's going to be amazing. And then s'mores, of course.
Fresh,
you know.
We're gonna have a crunchy.
It's gonna be a great time. So we're trying to expand, and we're trying to, you know, just do what works in the moment, and that changes.
Perfect. And do people like outdoors? I mean, there's not a lot of people that actually like go out or a bug or whatever. I don't know.
Have
you had any problems with that?
We have some novice hikers, some new, yeah, we do.
But we try to be mindful. So the great thing about this pairing is that, like Michelle said, she's more of an outdoors person than me. So even if we go camping, you know, I am not lay a tarp on the ground and that's it. That's not me. So, you know, I'd like to have certain comforts and certain, you know, conveniences when I'm outside. So we're always mindful of, is there a toilet? Is there a shower? Is there covered, you know, is there something to cover if it rains? And so we're mindful of that, so that when we bring our women outside, we're always like, okay, what could go wrong? And let's try to guard against it. Now, can we protect you against bugs? No, we cannot. We need you to be an adult. You know, we will have sprays. We will have different things to try to help you. But I think that the women that are coming outside are at least past that piece. They're past that piece of being afraid of just, you know, being generally outside. But we do try to make it as comfortable as possible, and also let people know that, you know, anything that you need to bring to make yourself comfortable, please do. You know, clothes, water, blankets, whatever you need to make yourself feel good while you're out here, please do. And that has been working. And so we're excited. We haven't had anybody run away or leave so far.
I want to watch new people who have never been on a hike before, and, you know, like, you know, I actually really like this. I'm going to go do this on my own, you know? So we've got a nice mix of the two. You know, the kind of the more novice and I wouldn't say pros, but people who like being outdoors more.
Teamwork works, huh? Perfect. So I was looking at your website, and I noticed something about Mindful Minutes, a monthly giveaway program. Would you like to share something about it?
Sure. So the idea there is for us to really encourage our community to get outside, and we're asking that people would log their mindful minutes. So you can have a mindful minute, or you can have a mindful mile. Your minutes or moments, I think it might be minutes or moments, but those are like yoga, you know, maybe meditation, things that you're doing in a more stationary place, like, or maybe you're doing indoors, but just more so stationary. And then you have your mindful miles, which is like biking, hiking, running, walking, those type of things outside. And the goal is that everybody logs. And at the end of each month, we have a sponsor that comes in and gives a goodie bag away to a winner. And it's just to encourage people to get out and
it's really it started because we want to encourage people to find mindfulness in their everyday life. Right. You know, I think we hear that word and we're like, okay, well, I don't have time to meditate for 30 minutes. Right. It doesn't have to necessarily be meditation. It's really just, what can you do for 5 minutes where you pause and you just focus on what you're doing? You know, whether it's reading or laying in a hammock or, you know, going for a walk. It's something to like get yourself back in the present moment. So we're just encouraging people to not only be more mindful and try to incorporate that more into their day, but then also log it, because we have a very lofty goal. We set a goal of wanting to reach 250,000 mindful minutes. It's a lot of minutes. We're almost at 40,000 now, but we're just starting the giveaway in July. So our first giveaway is going to be from REI, and we have a nice little prize pack. So it's, again, just to encourage people to be more mindful throughout their day and then log their minutes. Yeah. And then we'll give you
perfect. I need to practice on my meditation. To be very honest, when I try to do it, I go. And then, okay, how long has it been? I open one eye because I need to practice it. But I do have.
Start with like 2 minutes.
And I do my stretchings, and I do my try to think positive and try to. Although sometimes I just grab a pillow and scream at it. That is also valid.
Absolutely.
Right? Or go on, I don't know if any of your clients go up to a hill and hug a tree or just everything works, no?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it can look different for everybody.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking that you have the nature meditations deck. Maybe this is sort of like, can you tell us a little bit about that? Maybe it fits into this idea of going up and what do you do, and how do we practice mindfulness when we're out on our hikes?
That's exactly it. It is considered to be the outdoor companion that you never knew you needed. So the Mindful Meditations deck is coming out in the next couple of months. This has been a lifelong dream of mine to be a traditionally published author. So I'm super excited about it. It's got 4 different segments. We got nature meditations, messages from earth, walking thoughts, and then strengthening affirmations. And all of the cards in the deck are to just help you maximize not only your outdoor experience, but your general mindfulness experience. So you can just pull a card. It may give you a journaling prompt. It may give you something to do, an activity. It may give you a conversation piece to talk to with a friend, or even just an opportunity to look at Mother Nature in a way that you never have. So it's really, really exciting. And I'm really hoping that a lot more people will take it with them when they go outside to help diversify what we do when we go outside and really tap in a little bit deeper. Yeah.
I love that. I think it comes out in August, right? That's when the launch, I think I saw it. I'm
August 3rd.
Yeah.
August 3rd, yeah.
Oh, yeah, señorita.
She's definitely like, she's being humble, but it is so beautiful. The deck is so nice. And some of the parallels that she makes with things that we see in nature and how they affect us, or how we have very similar cycles, just as people too. So it's a really beautiful deck. So yay.
We're excited.
Thank you so much. And we're like close to the end of our time together. So I want to make sure we make space. Is there anything else about the Outdoor Journal Tour that you want to make sure we get across, that you want to say?
Follow us on Instagram.
We're building. We're building.
We are.
Just grow our community. We are at Outdoor Journal Tour on Instagram. Follow us. Tell your friends to follow us. And not just because we just want to have a large number, but because we're interested in increasing the community of mindful women who are outside or inside moving. So we're interested in that. So follow us and
we just added some ambassadors. So we're gonna have like IG live yoga and meditation on our page. So it'll be accessible to everybody that has an Instagram page. Yeah.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I have so much homework to do. Thank you so much for sharing, Kenny and Michelle. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Chingonas mujeres, vamos con todo.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure we're going to see each other either in Atlanta or here, but I'm meeting you in person.
Yes.
Come on.
It was so nice to meet you both.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride. Whew. Okay.
That was amazing.
I'm gonna put my hiking tennis shoes on. Wow. That was amazing. That was really amazing. How's everybody doing? Are we doing good? Okay. Well, we're gonna change the page a little bit, and with the purpose of never to forget our queer history, we're going to take a quick look at some of our queer history right here in San Diego. And to do so, Nicole Verdes, board president of Lambda Archives, is going to share a very brief and significant event in our local LGBTQ+ history.
Hi, my name is Nicole Verdes. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm the board president of Lambda Archives. Our mission at Lambda Archives is to collect, preserve, and share the local LGBTQ+ history of San Diego, Northern Baja California, and Imperial County region. Today, I'll be talking about San Diego's now repealed cross-dressing ordinance by highlighting some of the individuals whose voices were instrumental in repealing the ban, as well as those who defended its existence. On May 26, 1966, the San Diego City Council adopted Municipal Code 56.19, which stated that, quote, "No person shall appear in a public place or in a place open to public view in apparel customarily worn by the opposite sex, with the intent to deceive another person for the purpose of committing an unlawful act," end quote. Although the purported reason for this ban was to protect sailors and Marines who would come to San Diego and go to the downtown bars, this cross-dressing ordinance unfairly targeted sex workers and trans women, particularly women of color. The work to repeal this ordinance took 32 years and was a joint effort by several community members and activists, most notably Dolores Dickerson, a transgender woman who was an activist involved with a transgender advocacy group called Transaction, which was founded in April of 1994. Dolores was an instrumental voice in enlisting support for overturning the cross-dressing ban. Transaction was originally founded with the goal of working on employment discrimination, but Dickerson soon prioritized efforts to overturn the cross-dressing ban. Tony Zampella, who was on the city's Human Relations Commission from 1992 to 1997, and who led the effort to bring up the issue of repealing the cross-dressing ordinance up for a vote, and who Dolores Dickerson referred to as one of her angels, and they're photographed here together. Bridget Wilson, a lesbian and an attorney and partner at law firm Rosenstein, Wilson and Dean. Wilson provided pro bono legal advice to Transaction. She was and is well known for her work in advocating for LGBT issues in San Diego dating back to 1972. Among other issues, she's well known for seeking repeal of anti-LGBT military regulations such as Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Christine DiEduardo, Bridget Wilson's law clerk, a transgender woman who Wilson credits with doing all of the research to compile the city documents needed to outline that the ordinance was discriminatory. Dr. Kurt Boyce, psychologist who worked at the San Diego LGBT Community Center at the time. He supported Dickerson's efforts with Transaction and played a hand in the center becoming a fiscal sponsor for Transaction. Most efforts to maintain Municipal Code 56.19 were voiced by law enforcement like Lieutenant Jim Duncan from the San Diego Police Department. In an interview with Zenger's magazine, Duncan defended the ordinance by describing it as, quote, a means of helping neighborhoods get rid of the blight, end quote. San Diego Police Chief Jerry Sanders also supported the ordinance by stating that it was a, quote, tool to combat crime and complements the city law against loitering for the purpose of engaging in prostitution, end quote. Despite those who supported the ordinance, the San Diego City Council voted to repeal 56.19 with a 7-1 vote on July 20th, 1998. The only council member to oppose the repeal was George Stevens, who had this to say about the ordinance. Quote, the issue for us here is really deception. The way that it should be dealt with is by not allowing anyone to cross-dress for any purpose. As a side note, a similar ordinance existed in National City until just recently. Their Municipal Code 10.32 was signed in 1966 and made it illegal to be, quote, in apparel and or makeup customarily worn by a member of the opposite sex, while also buying alcoholic beverages, entering a restroom for members of the opposite sex, or practicing any form of deception on another person, end quote. Local LGBTQ plus activist Coyote Moon was instrumental in raising concerns that would eventually lead to that ordinance being repealed. She was quoted as saying, they said the law was obsolete. They never enforced it. But the point is that the fact is that there's still a slap in the face to the LGBT community. Like many other longstanding issues in the LGBTQ plus movement, we still have a long way to go in terms of the way sex work is delegitimized and criminalized. Local activist and Lambda Archives board member Jay Red Rose has been a strong voice for decriminalization. She's been quoted as saying, sex work should be decriminalized. The evidence is overwhelming that it affords sex workers better rights, protection, and improves health. It also combats stigma, and this will help and empower trans people. That's a brief history of the cross-dressing ordinance and its repeal in San Diego County, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, for that interesting look into our San Diego's history.
Yes, I am. I'm always, whenever I hear things about historical laws and discriminatory laws like this, I'm always just filled with gratitude for my LGBTQ ancestors who fought to challenge and change laws like the cross-dressing ordinance, right? They are the reason that I can wear this fantastic bow tie, and it's not something that can get me arrested, which is just amazing. But yeah. That was really informative session. And we are going to go ahead and move on to our next segment now, which is the zine making segment.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. During lockdown, our SheFest planning committee has been meeting online. We have been doing all sorts of things. And one of those activities was to make a zine. As I was told, it's like a magazine, but chiquito, right, Janet?
Yes.
So in this next segment, Cassie and Janet are going to explain what is it, how it's done, and especially the history behind it. So let's go to the video.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeanette, and this is Cassie. And we are here to give you a little bit of an intro into zine making. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Cassie to start us off talking about what even is a zine.
A zine is basically a self-published magazine, kind of like a blog, but on paper. They have been around in some form or another since the 19th century, but really rose to popularity in the 1930s because of science fiction nerds. In the late 20s and early 30s, pulp science fiction magazines got sick of how many letters they were receiving from readers about the plot holes in the stories that they published. So they decided to start publishing the addresses of these readers so that they could argue amongst themselves. What they ended up doing was creating a mailing list of sci-fi nerds, and these people started publishing their own fanzines that they shared with one another. These fanzines could include short stories, reviews of conventions, and also fan fiction. These zines eventually morphed into a variety of genres, and since then people have created zines about literally everything. I was inspired to create my first collaborative zine back in 2012, after I had my coming out story published in an Australian tween girl magazine named Dolly. The story I had told them of coming to know myself as the queer punk I was not the story that made it to their pages. It really made me recognize how important it was that we had safe spaces for queer voices to be heard. Zines have been an important tool for queer communities as a means of sharing stories and other information in a way that is unfiltered by mainstream media and with less risk to their safety. So I'm going to show you now some samples from my zine collection to show you what you can do with some paper and glue and scissors. The first one I'm just going to show you is this zine by Radical History Club, which is a local San Diego zine maker. It features historical documents, essay style writing, and also some interactive activities. Then we have Ladybeard by Bastien Fox Phelan, which is more text-based. It's a personal zine that chronicles their experience being growing a beard as a trans femme human. And the last one I'm going to show you involves a lot of cutting and gluing because it's a very interactive self-care zine by Janelle Silva, and it features little pockets with like coloring in bits and little activities and things. So there we go.
Those are some really awesome examples of zines. Now, what I want to say is don't be intimidated, and I will try to do the same because zines come in all types and forms, right? Some are super polished, some are rough, some are long, some are short, some are collaborative, and some are the work of just one person. So I guess the question becomes, what kind of zine would you want to make? And how would you get started? So what I'm going to share with you now is what is a zine at its most basic, right? Cassie talked about it a little bit. It's just a paper craft. So anything that you can put onto a piece of paper and photocopy, you can put in a zine. And so that can be drawings and writing and photography, collage. Really, you can let your creativity and imagination go. So I'm going to put up on the screen now some examples or some ideas to sort of get you started as to what you might put in a zine. This is by no means an exhaustive list, but just go ahead and take a screen grab if you want some inspiration for when maybe you start making your own zine later on. In my personal experience, I found that zine making is an incredible form of self-expression. I've made zines that are just for my eyes only and contributed to zines that are shared with other people. And Perhaps, what I want to see, if you're a little bit nervous about sharing your work, you can go ahead and start that way. Start with creating a zine that's just for you, where you are the creator and the audience. And then maybe move on later to wanting to create your own zine or contributing to an already existing zine, like the Loud and Queer zine.
Yeah, and then when you do want to share your zines, where do you share them? If you want to share zines or read other people's zines, in San Diego, there is this annual San Diego Zine Fest, which is a huge sharing event with a pop-up zine library. You can also check out zines at your public library, and some local stores, like Verbatim Books, also carry zines. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we know we can go and get zines at all sorts of places. And I have one pretty exciting zine that I want to tell you about. And that is, recently Cassie and I put on a little zine making session with the SheFest Planning Committee. And from that, we created a collaborative zine that is all about us and our experiences as queer women and non-binary people. I'm showing a little sneak peek of that zine here. And you can also pick up a copy of it at the in-person SheFest, which starts later on today. So I really hope that this has been a fun little window or intro into zine making, and that you're starting to feel that creative pull to wanting to create your own zine or contribute to a collaborative zine. And with that, both Cassie and I want to wish you a happy SheFest.
All right. Thank you, Cassie and Jeanette. Jeanette, bravissimo, bravissimo. Now we know that they're going to be out on SheFest then. We can grab one there. So be out on the look to take one home.
Yeah, exactly. It's very exciting.
Yes, perfect. We'll continue with our itinerary. Now let's hear from another expert from our community about how she channels her passions for advocacy and power. Take it away, Brittany McLean.
Hey y'all, I am Brittany, creator and co-host of Living Millennial Podcast, founder of Living Millennial Productions, and Planted Affirmations. Now, for the past 3 years, there's quite a bit that I've learned about creating spaces, safe spaces for others, and channeling my passion for advocacy. The first thing that I will tell everyone is to go with what inspires you. You can be authentic and apply what inspires you at the same time. There's inspiration everywhere we go, especially when we are intentional about the spaces that we step into and the spaces that we create for ourselves. So use your inspirations to fuel your passion and to help build your vision. The next thing, trust your intuition, trust your gut, trust that thing inside you that says, go for it, do this, or don't do this, don't do that. You currently possess the tools and the resources to be successful. We all possess the tools and the resources to be successful. The proof is in our passion. The proof is in what you're paying attention to. The proof is in what you're spending time learning about and applying to yourself to. You have already plenty of tools and resources, and that is going to stem from your intuition and what inspires you. There's a state of the unknown, and that is okay. That's always going to be there, but do not allow that to stop you. Keep moving, keep growing, and the success will follow you from there. The last thing is my favorite: rest and give yourself grace. When we heal ourselves, we heal our communities. When we show ourselves love and grace, we will have more love and grace to show others. I personally believe that rest is a form of resistance. It's my favorite form of resistance. It goes against the odds. It goes directly against the social norms of hustling and bustling and no days off. Guess what? You can have some days off. Show yourself grace, allow yourself to rest and restore, and you will get right back to your work, right back to your routine, restored, and a lot of times with even more fuel and passion that you had before. Burnout is a real thing. It's a growing conversation. A lot of us are realizing that it has hit us hard. Release the guilt, rest, give yourselves grace, restore, and you'll get right back to your work 10 times better. Thank you so much for having me in SheFest. I greatly appreciate the space that you all have created for queer folks to relate to one another and better understand one another as well, and continue to inspire and create and rest.
Just the way she said rest is like, yes, we do need a reset button once in a while. And
yes, yeah.
Resting is one of those buttons.
Yeah, that was a really inspiring segment. Yeah. Thank you so much, Brittany. All right, and our next section, like next up, we have an awesome little break we are going to take with local musical gem, Lindsay White. And Lindsay has a special performance just for us. So let's go over to Lindsay.
It's a shame I'm affair so scary. Is that a situation you're in? Just let me carry, making you feel like the baby, you're the damn Grand Canyon. Baby, you're a big great lake. You got that majesty there. You can see from outer space. And all of those tall sequoias didn't grow in just a day. You know a landmark kind of life takes time. Time's on the way. Time's on the way. Carving marked out. Yeah, time is on the way. It's the hardest party day in the morning. Pick up your phone, feel alone. There's a pressure you feel, steal your breath without warning. Feel that furrow brow forming, making you feel relevant. Baby, you're the damn Grand Canyon. Baby, you're a great lake. You got that majesty there. You can't see from outer space. All of those stars, sequoias, they didn't grow in just a day. You know, landmark kind of life takes time. Time's on the way. Time's on the way. Calling my time. Yeah, time is on the way. Time's on the way. It's coming around to save the day. So slow down, let it play. Yeah, time is on the way.
Thank you so much for that chill music break, Lindsay. And if you all want to hear more of those relaxing vibes, you can actually see Lindsay White perform on Sunday, August 1st at Navajo Live. So that's a very exciting thing to look forward to. And we have even more awesome content lined up now, and we are very lucky to get to hear and learn all about ancestral healing and reclamation from Carmen Alida, a doula and herbalist, who will be tabling today actually at the in-person SheFest. You have 2 opportunities to learn from this incredible person. So let's go over and hear from Carmen.
Hi, my name is Carmen Herida, and I am based here on Kumi Island, also known as San Diego, California. I am a student herbalist, a birth worker / doula, and a storyteller and a creative. And most of my work is focused on ancestral healing and reclamation. And what that looks like for me is doing work to learn traditional customs and ceremony and culture and knowledge rooted in my own ancestral lineage. And so it really means reclaiming something that was either lost or stolen because of colonization or capitalism or slavery. And so a lot of that tends to show up in my work because this work it's about my own healing and my own understanding of self, but it's also about supporting my community and finding alternatives to the systems that are in place. So a lot of the time, my herbalism work is focused on using herbs that are culturally relevant to me and also to my clients, herbs that are supportive in difficult times, and herbs that, just bring us joy because what's included in them are herbs that our great grandmothers once used. And then in my birth work and in doula work, what that also looks like is, again, bringing in nourishing foods and ceremony and ritual and herbs and practices that come from our ancestral lineages that are so incredibly supportive and healing during pregnancy and during postpartum. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of this reclamation, it's about healing myself, but it's also about healing my ancestors and those who come after me and leaving something for my family, blood and chosen, to be able to have once I pass on as an ancestor. I think that for people who are really interested in, specifically getting into ancestral reclamation work surrounding herbalism and birth work, it's super important to get clear on who you are, why you want to do this work, and the ways in which your identities intersect. If you are someone with Italian heritage and you are really interested in delving deep into that, you can just get really clear on what that means to you, right? And I think that right now, because of COVID, there is just so much knowledge that's available and so many people who are doing their work and doing this work. And once you get clear on that, those doors will open up. I also think it's the same for birth work and doula work, kind of look around your community, who's doing this work, who's not doing this work, what are the classes that are being offered, what trainings are being offered, and, how do they align with you? Do they align with you politically? Do they align with you in terms of your identities? Is it for birth doula? Is it for a postpartum doula? Once you get clear on these, there's going to be so many people that you can connect with. And I think it's also really important to connect with the people who are in your community and your elders, because there's a lot of information and knowledge that's there, and it's just about you tapping into it. If you want to get to know more about my work or want to talk to me and see how you can get started, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Duality Heartwork. I'll also include a slide at the end of this video with some resources of folks that you can reach out to if you're interested in doing some ancestral work, specifically around birth work and herbalism. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Carmen. And don't forget that you can actually meet Carmen and talk to her more about her work at today's in-person event. Now, I have just been feeling so inspired and blown away by all of the amazing people who have taken the time to share so much of themselves with us today. And we have one more person lined up to hear from. And we are going to get to listen to Lauren who is one of the founding members of the Queer Asian Coalition here in San Diego. So over to Lauren.
Hi, my name is Lauren Manalo. My pronouns are she, her. I'm one of the founding board members of the San Diego Queer Asian Pacific Islander Middle Eastern Desi American Coalition, which is CAPIMETA for short, and that is a program of San Diego Pride. I'm a community organizer. I've done organizing groups for a few different groups within San Diego, including Asian Solidarity Collective, and I'm super excited to talk to you today about turning your passion into activism. I can talk a little bit about how I went from regular human to activist to community organizing. And I think it's important to really make the distinguishment between activism and community organizing. I think when we first start out, we hear those two terms sort of used interchangeably, but they are pretty different. So activism, I think, is how a lot of people get started with movement work. It's very much an individual pursuit, and the basics of it are just showing up in whatever way you're able to and being of service to the movement in whatever way that you're able to. There's a lot of different types of activism. So going to protests, participating in boycotts, signing petitions, contacting your representatives, creating art, all of those things really fall under that umbrella of activism. And the great thing about it is that anybody can do it with any sort of skill level or ability or any amount of experience. You know, you can really just come as you are and be useful there. My passion for activism really did turn into community organizing. And community organizing is very relationship focused. And that's right there in the name. It focuses on community first and foremost. It's about bringing people into the movement, getting people to take action and work together. And where activism is more about coming as you are, community organizing is very much about meeting people where they're at. So my passion has always been people, has always been relationships and community. So community organizing became a really good fit for me as an individual. And I was able to turn my coming to protests and, you know, being involved on the activist side into community organizing when I got together with like-minded folks and started to actually build together, build movements and coordinate events and things like that. Something that's really important when it comes to turning your passion into activism is self-care and community care. So something that is not uncommon is that people who are new to the movement are so excited. They've got a lot of passion and energy. They dive right in. The organizing group is so excited about that, and they give them a lot of stuff to do. And in turn, they take on a lot, which is fine in the short term. But I think what happens over weeks or months or years is that eventually, if you're operating at that same pace, you're going to get burnt out. And I'm saying this as someone who is no longer burnt out, but was. I am coming off of an extended, like 3-month-long break from activism and community organizing because I was so burnt out. I had a full-time job. I was essentially working a full-time job with these other 2 organizations and continuing to do organizing work on a volunteer basis, as most of it is. And yeah, I got really tired. I got mentally, emotionally, physically exhausted and needed to take a break. And I don't think that everybody should need to do that. And there's a lot that we can learn, I think, from disability justice when we talk about burnout, because as we all know, like, you can have passion for so many things. But that doesn't necessarily translate equally to energy and capacity. We can have infinite passion and love for causes, but when it comes to our physical, mental, emotional capacity, we have a finite amount of energy to do that. So it's important for us to keep both of those things in mind at the same time. I want to uplift one of the principles of disability justice that from Sins Invalid, and I'm just going to read it verbatim, for sustainability. So this is the 6th principle. We pace ourselves individually and collectively to be sustained long-term. We hear, I think, especially within organizing and movement work, we definitely hear like this phrase, you can't pour from an empty cup, and that's 100% true. I think every step of the way, we need to devote as much energy to building the movement, to asking ourselves and asking each other, am I rested? Are you rested? Am I nourished? Are you nourished? Do you have what you need to heal, recover, and live? And do I have that as well? Centering that is really important, because not only does that allow us to have a sustainable movement where we're working at a pace where we're actually going to be able to continue it instead of fizzling and burning out after a certain amount of time. It sets the model for liberation and what we're looking for and what we're really striving for. Because what are we all working on an activist basis or on a community organizing basis to do? It's a better and more just world for every single person. And that means making space for different capacity. That means making space for different abilities. That means acknowledging the fullness and richness of life. That organizing is not the only thing that we're doing. We've got family, we've got work, we've got our own health, you know? So as you foray into this world of your passion, make sure that you are also taking stock of your energy and your capacity and the energy and capacity of the folks that are building with you, because that's the way that we get free. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Lauren, for that incredibly important message. And keeping in line with this idea of caring for ourselves, right, and nourishing ourselves. We are actually going to be joined in just a minute by one of my fellow SheFest committee members, Shannon Linzer, who's going to take us through a queer stretch break. And I'm just so excited to get to do this with Shannon today. So, hi, Shannon.
Hi, friends. Welcome to another Queer Stretch Break SheFest edition. I'm stoked to be hanging out with you today. My name is Shannon. I go by she, her, hers. I'm the owner, a physical therapist, and yoga instructor, and all-around person of all trades at Sync Physical Therapy and Yoga. And I'm stoked to shake a motion with you guys today. It's going to be fun. So we're going to start by just getting up. You've all been sitting for far too long. Find a space, find a place you can move, and stretch out your arms nice and wide. And stretch out your arms nice and wide. Just take your hands and wiggle them out a little bit. And then the other way. And maybe that starts to move into your hips, and you can wiggle those out a little bit. And maybe you go the other way. And then maybe your feet wake up a little bit. And they go the other way. And you can wiggle your feet and your hips at the same time. There's no saying we can't. Yep, try that other foot. There we go. And when that feels all nice and good, take a big stretch up. And let your hands come down. And we're going to take a little bit of a walk. So we're going to take a step forward and reach way up. And then back and way down. And up. And then back and way down. Doesn't matter which leg you started on, as long as in the next breath, when we switch sides, you switch to the other side. Go ahead and switch feet. So we're going to go forward and back. And forward and back. If I'm going too fast for you, slow it down. If anything we do here does not feel lovely in your body, cut it out and do something else. All that matters is that we're moving and feeling good. We're going to take a step off to the side. Big swoop of our hands. And come back. Big swoop of our hands. And if you want to get adventurous, cross over. Take one more. Nice big step over. And cross it. And then you guessed it, we're going to do the other side. So we take a nice big step. And come back. Or we take a nice big step. And we cross it over. Think like you're reaching your arms nice and high. Best concert of your life. Come on back. Shake it out. We're going to take a step out to the side, almost to an L. A little booty bump here. We load our hips. It gives us all this power in our movement. And isn't it nice to just feel strong? Up. Other leg. We're going to switch. And come back. And yeah, you can round the corner if that feels good. Maybe even step a little farther. Get some wiggle back in those legs. And come back. Take a moment and step it out. We're going to take a nice big stretch up. And come back. And take a hop out to the side. Make your feet go nice and wide. We're going to get in a little bit deep here. So we're going to come down. And we're going to twist and twist. If this doesn't feel so good on your knees, don't go so deep. If it doesn't feel so good on your shoulders, don't go so deep. If it feels good to go really deep and side to side, go for it. All right, and then we're going to come up and hop back or step it if it feels nice. Sometimes it's just fun to jump. We're going to take a step out to the side here on the diagonal and then step back. And then we're going to get a little fancy about this. So if you remember back in the day, there used to be this lovely thing that we do, like staying alive. I'm old enough to remember doing this when I was like 5, right? There we go. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to make it a little fancy with that step. So we're going to step and come across and come back. And step and come across. And if you want a little balance challenge, then maybe you watch your hand the whole way. Let's do one more. Come back. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bring it up, swoop it round. You can be as dramatic or as in tight as feels good to you. So if you want to get really dramatic, go up and way to the side. As you go around, one more. Come back, take a big breath up. This time, release your arms behind you. And if you don't reach all the way behind without popping here, just keep your arms reaching to the floor and back a little bit. If you can reach up and back, interlace your fingers, and we're going to drag our feet strong to the ground and pop our hearts way up. Get a nice stretch in the front of our chest. We're going to take 3 good breaths here. 1, 2, every time your heart goes a little bit up, and then your hands a little bit down. 1 more. Bring it, good breath up. Come back. If it feels good to you, pop your feet out and open up and bring your hips forward. And one more time, pop together and up. And come back forward. And that is just a little bit of joy for the afternoon. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I am stoked you could have done anything with your time today. Thanks for hanging out with SheFest. We really appreciate every single one of you. If you would like to hang out with me further, you can find me on Instagram at sync, SYNC, the number 2, and then health, HEATHELTH, I can spell, or Venmo at Sync to Health also. Just grateful for all the love you give via likes and energy and all the wonderful that you are putting out into the world. Thank you, and namaste.
Okay, Janet, how are you feeling now that we are straight and standing up?
Yes, I am ready to go.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So tell us a little bit, what are we going to find?
Yes. So we are heading over. I'm ready now. I'm going to head over to the Hillcrest Flagpole area. And SheFest gets started. The in-person SheFest kicks off at 1 p.m. We have live music, workshops, activities, community groups, vendors, and just an awesome community space. We have an excellent stage lineup of performers who you are going to get to see live. Just such an exciting thing that's only recently been able to happen at SheFest. We also have over 40 community groups, nonprofits, small businesses, artists who you can come out and meet and support, including handcrafted, one-of-a-kind dog ponchos from Bodega Girl, records repurposed as wall hanging art from Venice Vinyls. We've got the Lesbianist Dragon Boat Racing team, which I recently joined and is very exciting. We've got the Trans Family Support Services, and herbal items for sale from Duality Heartwork. It is going to be so good, and I just can't wait to get over there.
And I just got a text. Rosie and Gabrielle are just waiting to go to their live stream. So just put some sunblock on. And before we go, we would like to thank our presenting sponsor, Viejas Casino. Thank you for investing in us. That's how you believe in us. Thank you so much. And we also want to thank our awesome tech crew. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for my mute and unmute sometimes click. Thank you, Liana. Thank you, Shiloh. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Stacy. And if I'm missing someone, please help me, Janet. Am I missing someone?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Perfect. So, thank you, our amazing ASL interpreter scaling, and Suzanne. Thank you again for always being supportive and saving time for us. Thank you. So, Janet, I'm ready. Are you?
I'm ready.
Vámonos.
I will. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'll meet you at the flagpole, Edith.
Meet you there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
everyone. See you
at
soon.
SheFest.
Bye-bye.
about now? Can you hear me now? How about
Can you hear us?
Testing.
Can you hear us? Are we live? Are we live? All right. We've been having some technical difficulties. This is Walter Krondike. I'm live here Saturday, July 10th. It is SheFest, I've been told. I'm here with Florida Man. Florida Man, say hello.
Hello, everybody. As we maybe try to say 5 times before, but who are these Gabrielle and Rosie fellas? They trying to steal our spotlight? What's the deal with that?
I don't know. It sounds like the Weekend Crew. We're not the Weekend Crew. We're not the replacements.
No,
we're the real things. We're the real things. So yeah, so we're here at SheFest, reporting live Saturday, July 10th, and we just opened up. SheFest just opened up, and we're gonna walk around and talk to some people and see what's going on.
Yeah, we're gonna give you
Looks
fellas
like
a taste of what's here and what's happening, and yeah, say some hellos to some folks.
That's right. So we got some people here. They're selling stuff. People are selling stuff, and they're selling some food. It looks like some good food. There's some good smells coming. I don't know. What do they eat in Florida? It's a hot day, Florida.
Fried iguana, I would say, maybe some gator for feeling lucky.
Oh, we don't have gator in San Diego. No, we don't. It's not that kind of town. Oh, we're gonna come over here. And we got a tent over here. It says free mom hugs. Hi there. I'm Walter Krondike. This is my friend Florida Man. Hello. And hi. Happy SheFest. What can you tell us about free mom hugs?
We give free mom hugs to people. We support the LGBTQ community. If your parent is not accepting of you, we give you a hug, and we stand in for weddings. We go to graduations. You name it, we will be there.
So, and if folks want you to come to their wedding and be their mom stand-in, they can go to freemomhugs.org. Yes. In the San Diego area, they're having a San Diego wedding. They can have a free mom.
We're everywhere, though.
Everywhere. So I bet they have them in Florida.
Yeah, there would be.
Yeah. Florida Man, when you get married, I saw your hot little number there.
We are Hillcrest Celebration She Festival. Today.
Thank you, Dad. Happy SheFest.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Go downtown.
We're gonna go this way now. Thank you. Free mom hugs. Look at Jimmy. Get in there. Look at those stickers. Look at that. What does that say? You are perfect just the way you are.
Hi, guys.
Be proud. Okay, we're gonna get out of their way so that other people can enjoy their stuff. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. All right, and we got a food truck over here. A lovely food truck. Hi, how you doing? It's hot. Jimmy, it's hot. You got my water, right?
Jimmy, it's steaming.
How you doing? So we got a food truck here. This is Barria Don Juan. Looks like some good food here. Good food. Come on out. It's about lunchtime. We got some tacos. And I think there's some sweets here too. How's it going, Helen? Mini cheesecakes. Are you selling cheesecakes today?
Yes,
Mini
I am.
cheesecakes.
Mini cheesecakes.
Look at those. Those are beautiful. Get in there, Jimmy. Get in there.
Raspberry, blueberry, and carrot cake cheesecake.
So if somebody wants to eat a cheesecake, they can buy a cheesecake and they can eat it. Absolutely, you can come get your cheesecake.
Big sizes, 9-inch, 6-inch, and then
Oh, nice. So you do custom orders. Custom ordered cheesecakes. They look delicious. Come on out. Thank you very much. Thank you. I got Mail Warehouse, 1983. How's it going? Let's see. We're gonna stop. There's some people over there. Let's see. We got another food truck.
Got the monster menu over here.
Hey, we're being wagged over here. We're being summoned. Hey, what do we got here? SheFest. What's the name of your business?
La Diabla.
What does La Diabla mean?
The devil, the she devil.
She devil. And tell us a little bit more. What are we selling here?
It's a candy. So it's a candy rim.
For your Bud Light, right? Your Bud Light or your Pabst?
For your Modelo, for your Dos Equis.
Okay, Tecates. Okay, I like Tecate.
There we go. For your michelada, whatever you want to put it on, you can put it on. You got a mango? You can put it on your mango.
Put it on a
You
mango.
got a lime ice cream? You can put it on your lime ice cream.
Yeah.
You got a green apple? You can put it on your green apple.
A green apple.
You got a beer? Well, put it on your beer.
Can I put it on my mustache?
You can put it on your mustache.
Okay. And you're just like.
There you go like that.
All day. You're gonna be here all day, right? Yeah. They're gonna be here all day. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to my Florida man friend here, who's here over the weekend. He's just here for the weekend. I mean, you know, you gotta hand it to him. Like,
break away from the sun-kissed elders down at the beach.
That's right. We have some of those too.
Here. We do. Thank you, my good sir. Alrighty, so we're gonna keep making our way down. Hopefully without getting all this music in here. We got some more good meat. Bringing the meat today. Got some hot bevs, some coffee and tea today. Lovely. We got folks over here with some rainbow leaves and beads. Look at that. Oh, wonderful. Ooh, and some ice cream over here. Gotta make sure you stay cool today, everybody. It's a hot one. Hot. Let's see, who should we stop by? Oh boy, my apologies for the noise. Where are we headed?
Maybe we should tell them a little bit about the workshop.
Yeah, so we got some workshops coming up here today. We have 2 sections heading about 2 to 6 today, I believe. So some of our first workshops include a queer archiving series. She's extremely excited. We also have some showings about kink and BDSM today, age restricted, unfortunately, for everybody.
I like that kink.
And we got some other foster and adoptive services. Wow, y'all are doing great work. What brings you here to SheFest today?
We just want to let everybody know that we have the resources and information to become a foster adoptive parent, and that we accept everyone and all types of relationships and all types of identities. We just want people who love kids.
Awesome. We love to hear it. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm a foster parent. I just want to let you know I adopted a child for free. I do. He's 15. I got a 15-year-old foster child. Well, he's my adopted now.
Well, thank you. So you made it. You made it to 15.
He made it to 15. He made it, and I made it to
3 more years.
Thank you so much for your great work. Thank you. Alrighty, so let's zoom in on this workshop area we got going. It's still being set up, but here's a little taste of the schedule. We got your queer archive section coming up. We got some demystifying self-care and a coalition meet and greet, which is with the SD Latinx LGBT Coalition. Very exciting stuff. We'll make our way back over to the other areas.
It's hot.
It's a hot one. It's a hot one.
Does it get this hot in Florida?
Oh, way hotter, I would say.
I hear you got that.
My shoes would be melting off if we were in Florida right now. Yeah. All right, here we got the other workshops, so we can tell you what's coming up over here. We got some roller skating. Come out and learn how to skate. We got some BDSM basics. The pleasure of touch.
BDSM.
Yeah. Big dick so much. All right. The pleasure of touch and queer family building. We'd love to see it. Definitely come out and catch those if you're able to. All righty. Let us continue the journey.
I think we're going to be having some opening remarks at some point.
Yes.
On the stage, there's a stage. We're going to work our way back to the stage area. and see if they're doing their opening remarks yet.
We'll make
We'll
our
get a
way.
chance to, like,
Who is
listen
that
in.
I see? Is that a Mr. Todd Gloria over there?
Oh, hey.
Maybe we should interrupt, maybe not. We'll find out. It's our lucky day, folks. We got a Mr. Mayor Todd Gloria coming up.
We do. We want to say hi to the mayor. We're really happy that he came out here to support SheFest.
It's an honor,
Just give him
really.
just a minute, because he's a busy guy.
Busy
The mayor,
man.
He's a busy
man.
We got it.
I'm gonna pass this on to you.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, how are you doing? How you doing?
Better now that I'm in the presence. Look at you guys. You look amazing.
Klondike here with my friend Florida Man. He's here from Florida.
Florida man. Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Florida?
What part of Florida?
South Florida, near Miami.
Okay, so this is a low bar you have to clear right now. Is it better to be in San Diego than Florida?
I'm a little biased, but I would have to say it's pretty nice in San Diego.
Okay, then we can continue. Just want to make sure you guys mayor of my own city. I gotta promote San Diego, right?
It's a dry heat here.
It's
a dry heat.
It's not dry. He's very humid. I've touched it. He's very humid.
I'm yep,
So,
perspiration,
I'm at
everything.
SheFest, everybody.
Happy SheFest. Thank you. Tell
thank
me
you
more
so
about
much.
you're spending some time here at SheFest saying hello to people, and
Heck yeah.
what are you looking forward to about this day and about Pride, because SheFest kicks off Pride. And we have,
As it should. Yeah, well, I'm delighted to be here, and I actually really like this new location. I don't know how you feel about it, but
it's fantastic.
Right in the heart of the neighborhood, kind of got a street fair feel, which is great. And I don't know, I'm just happy to be here. I'm really happy to be anywhere, right? I mean, we've all been...
I've been cooped up.
Right?
They've been telling me I got to get on Zoom and do the news on the Zoom. I don't know what the Zoom is. And
Well,
now we're live streaming on Faceplace. So thank you very much.
I love the Faceplace and the tweets and all the fun stuff.
all the
but
good stuff.
It's
We're
just
very,
great to
very
see
happy
everybody
you're here,
again.
and we're very happy to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming out.
No, I'm delighted. Everyone come out to SheFest, support the community, and let's happy Pride, right?
Awesome.
Happy Pride.
Enjoy
happy
the
Pride.
rest of your
you
day.
You heard it from the mayor himself. Come on out, everybody. We got food, we got stuff to buy.
Got
And we got
live
a stage. We're gonna
entertainment.
go make our way over to the stage.
Work the
Thank you
stage.
so much. We
Absolutely, my
appreciate
pleasure.
so much.
My Florida. We'll see you again.
All right, folks, that was a great little stop with our mayor. Oh boy, we got some more folks with cameras up here. Whew. Oh my goodness, we ain't the only ones around here with the cameras. All righty. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What are we thinking now? Oh yeah, Senator Tony Atkins is going to be speaking today on the stage, which we're very excited for. Oh my goodness, hello.
Happy SheFest. Happy SheFest.
Awesome.
Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, tell us your name and what's bringing you here today.
Sure, my name is Callie Ingebrigtsen. I run a financial coaching practice called Chillax Finance, and I'm on a mission to help all the queers with their money.
Jimmy.
Love to hear it. Get your financial consulting advice from Chillax. We love it.
The money world is so pale, male, and stale, and a lot of queer folks are underserved and are struggling to manage their money, so I want to help them and switch that up.
Awesome. You're doing a great service.
10 years ago, I don't know.
I don't know a thing about retirement.
1926. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Gosh, well, we can talk. We got to talk after today.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should take one of your business cards. Awesome.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
your
of
time
course.
today.
Thanks for being here. Happy
Awesome.
Pride.
Happy Pride. Happy Pride.
Awesome. All right. We're continuing onward. Woo. Oh my goodness, hello.
I just wanted to know what the get-up was for. We're here to talk to the people selling stuff.
Yeah, we
We're
want
talking to the people
to
selling
highlight the
stuff
folks
and-
out here doing their vending.
Yes, besides looks, you're serving looks.
Where's-
So, like, are you selling it?
I hear the kids saying that. I'm serving looks from Mail International, circa 1983.
But you look better than them then.
This is true, all right. What brings you all to SheFest today? What you got selling today?
Supporting my girl here.
Crystals, art, and jewelry.
Nice.
Handmade by me and my wife.
Beautiful.
And yeah,
Awesome. Wonderful. This looks
Something maybe you could burn. Burn. So what does sage do?
Sage helps get rid of negative energy, so it's good for that. And then we have Palo Santo that brings in positive energy.
And yes, you do burn that, so that's some good context clues you got there.
So yeah, so you need that in Florida, man. You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
All that negative energy, you gotta bring the
We really got to cleanse that state.
All the way.
All the
Nothing
way.
good comes out of Florida.
Thank you
Nope,
so much.
you're
ladies.
so right.
Have a great Chief Fest.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Alrighty. I'm gonna pass this back on to my good friend Walter.
Nope. Whoa. So I think that we've been having a little bit of technical difficulties with the microphone. So Jimmy, we got to get in a little closer with the microphone when we're talking to the people. So let's see. We're still walking toward the stage, and I can hear some music playing. And I think, hey, how's it going? It's good. How you doing today? Tell me about what is this? What is this card here?
San Diego's Women's Chorus. Does someone want to talk to them?
You're a women's chorus.
Yeah.
You sing. You do the singing.
Yeah, we do the singing, and then there's a whole lot of singing and moving and dancing too.
So if I did on the count of 3 and I said, do a C, like could you do a C?
No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, okay.
I cannot.
Kidding.
I almost fooled you there for a second though. No, yeah, we sing, and then we've got a concert coming up on Thursday on YouTube. It is July 15. Anybody's welcome. It's pretty good. You know, like a lot of choruses didn't make it through the pandemic, but our chorus totally like killed it. We just killed it.
And you're doing it on the YouTube.
The YouTube, yes. Go to the YouTube at San Diego Women's Chorus.
Okay.
Or
okay.
SDWC. SDWC.org.
Org.
Yeah. But
Gotta remember the org.
All the videos on YouTube or Facebook.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks
Sorry,
for
what's
sharing.
your name?
Oh, I'm Walter Krondike.
Walter Krondike. Thank you
This
so
is
much.
This is my associate, Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Thank you so much.
He's here for the weekend. He's, an up and comer in Florida.
Oh, nice.
He's
A youngster, if you will.
A youngster. So yeah, look at that facial hair. He's,
Well, I heard
still
they
young.
like to Florida it up in Florida. So
They do
Sure
Florida it
do,
up.
Unfortunately.
Indeed. All right, well, we're going to walk toward the stage. Thank you very much. Thanks for talking. How you doing? All the people, all the attendees having fun here at SheFest. People are really starting to fill out here. And then we got this booth over here for San Diego Pride. Hello there. Hello. How's it going? Somos Latinx. I'm Walter Krondike. We're here interviewing vendors and tablers. And what do we have here? Jimmy, get in here. Let's look at some of this stuff. What can you tell me about San Diego Pride and SheFest, and what are you looking forward to for the day?
Awesome. Well, hi everyone. My name is Melanie and my pronouns are she, hers, ella. I'm here today representing San Diego Pride. A lot of folks know San Diego Pride because of the parade and festival, and they don't realize that our festival is actually our biggest fundraiser of the year. All that money that folks spend on tickets, on alcohol sales, all of that goes back directly to the community to support our programs that offer year-round stuff. So we have our youth programming, we have the Latinx Coalition, Queer Apimeta Coalition, SheFest is a program of pride, a military department, you name it, we probably have it. And we're just out here to make sure that folks know that, these programs and these resources are available to the community. And I'm just really looking forward to, being in a space where we're centering women and folks that feel at home with the pronoun she.
Awesome. And you're probably looking forward to being face to face with some people too.
Definitely. It's been a long year of being, I work at San Diego Pride, so I've been very lucky to still be in contact with the community, but it's nothing like seeing people virtually, like on Zoom and stuff. There's nothing like seeing folks in a space like this come together, and it's exciting for sure.
Well, thank you. We're excited to be here at SheFest, and if people want some more information about San Diego Pride, they can come over to the table and they can pick up some information and they can talk to you.
Yeah,
and ask any
I'll
questions.
be here all day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Heya. So this must be the SheFest. This must be where it's at. This is the SheFest stuff.
Looks like it's
Look at this.
headquarters.
Look at this.
How are y'all doing?
Look at this. Jimmy, get in there. Look at that. A SheFest t-shirt that somebody just bought a piece of merchandise here. They've got
Look at
some
all these
stickers.
shirts.
They got some stickers. So what are you selling today?
So we're selling t-shirts, we're selling hoodies, and we have stickers.
Stickers.
You want to try
Nice.
some?
No, sure. I would love.
We would
Can I
love
put
some
one on my
stickers.
microphone?
Yeah.
You know, bling it up. Yeah.
So
These
what
are
do you think
some
is your
great.
size?
For the microphone. Or for the. What's my size?
Yeah. Do you want to put a t-shirt in the microphone? I think it's probably an extra
maybe.
small.
I thought you said sticker. I thought I was putting a sticker on the microphone. I can put a sticker. I can put a t-shirt. Actually, I think Florida Man would look a little bit better in a t-shirt. I don't know. I got the belly.
Oh yeah.
I got
Get a bit of that beer belly going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And get your t-shirts and your tank tops and your muscle things.
And your sweaters.
Get some boy band.
And there's some boy band merchandise, and I see somebody over there wearing a boy band shirt. And hi, how you doing? I'm Walter Klondike.
It's good to meet you, Walter.
Thank you. So what is boy band?
Boy band, we're an up-and-coming queer cover band. We're performing today at 5. Yes, the covers, right? Of all the traditional and lovely boy band songs that we've grown to love over the years.
So what do you do? You sing and dance? You sing and dance to these boy band songs?
Jazz hands. There's a lot of jazz.
A lot of
hands going
jazz.
on,
I like
you
the
know?
jazz. I like the jazz.
It's like this is
I used to
another
do
thing that's just a
jazzercise.
boy band. She's like,
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm Walter Klondike. I'm here with Florida Man.
Okay, what's up? You look like a Florida man.
I certainly am.
The image is spot
He
on.
is a Florida man. He is.
Yeah.
He's here for the weekend, and we just wanted to hear a little bit more about boy band and the performers who are out here for SheFest.
Sweet.
Talking to the people, trying to encourage people. We're live on the Face Place right now.
Oh, the Face Place. Hello,
We're on the
Face
Face Place. We're
What's
on the
up?
Face Place, and we want people to come and what time is your act?
We are on at 5 o'clock. We're playing 5 to 5:40. We have some pretty awesome stuff lined up. We've been working really hard, so trying to show you guys a good time and just have fun.
And it's B-O-I, boy with a
B-O-I with an I. Boy with an I.
Boy with an I.
Yeah.
Boy with an I. All right, thank you.
A lot of songs you can sing along to. So
It's a sing-along. It's a sing-along.
It's a sing-along.
I'm looking forward to it. All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
All the way from Florida.
We're almost to the stage. We got a couple of vendors. We're going to come by and say hi to the Dr. Broners. Hey, Dr. Broners. Which one is Dr. Broners?
We all are.
You're all Dr. Broners.
We're
You're all Dr. Broners.
All in the spirit. We're all one.
You get all one. Oh, I get it now. We're all Dr. Broners.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
So yeah, get into
Guys,
Jimmy.
just got some free samples for you to try here. Dr. Brown is an amazing company doing really wonderful things for society.
What kind of free stuff do we got today?
Well, this is some soap. This is the citrus soap. It'll help that stay on too.
Citrus soap?
Yeah, yeah. And this is some lotion. Here's some for you guys. Will you hold some for them? For you, my love. And here's some lotion. This lotion is super
I need
dope.
that later. It's dry. It's a very dry end today.
We're also hiring. We have a lot of roles open, so come on down. Yeah, we've got plenty of roles. Yeah, right in Vista and some remote. So
Vista and remote. I hear that remote is a new thing. Now we're probably doing news on the Zoom. I don't really like it. I want to be, in the studio.
come on, work with Dr. Bronner.
Come down and see Dr. Broners, and if you're interested in a job, you can come talk to them about their jobs in Vista or possibly remote. I think I got to get a little more glue. I need some glue. I'm going to pass it along to my friend Florida Man, and he's going to introduce us to some more people. Thanks a lot.
Alrighty, thank you, Walter. Appreciate that. We're gonna keep moving on down. What is this? We got a sugar bear. Coming over. Hello.
Is there a possibility that you could actually come back as an
Of course, not a problem. Thank you so much for your time. Of course, definitely stop by the Sugar Bear shop while you're here. We got some good merch. Ooh. My goodness. Let's see, we got some more art. Got some end human trafficking, always a good thing. Always a good one.
How you doing? Oh my God. Hi. How you doing? Hi. Who is this? Who is this? We're live on the Faceplace.
On the Faceplace.
We're live on the
Faceplace.
Faceplace.
Okay.
We're live streaming, so they're telling us. So are you an attendee here today?
I am attending here
You're
today.
attending here today. Yeah.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to seeing at the She Fest?
Looking for other gays and fun things to purchase.
This is my niece Nicole. This is her first gay event.
Wow, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're really all excited to be here. We're so
Yes.
excited to be in person and face to face with everyone. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate
Have a
it.
good rest of your
Have a
She
good
Fest.
one. Making our way to the stage.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
See you later.
All right, keep moving, keep moving. Let's see, we got some arts. We got some arts here. Got a Sony artist. Alrighty. Well, hello, hello.
Hi.
Tell us what your name is and what brings you to She Fest today.
My name is Sony, and I'm here for the music, for the art, for the people.
Awesome. And what kind of art do you have for sale today?
So I've got several pieces that with a lot of different messages, but mostly it's about art and love.
Awesome. They look fantastic.
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for coming. Well, definitely make sure to stop by Sony's art shop.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Good to see you guys.
Alrighty, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Got some beautiful jewelry over here. Look at all those stones. Some more paintings. Beautiful, beautiful. Alrighty, we only got a couple shops left before we are nearly at the stage. How are we doing on time? How are we doing on time? Alrighty, making good time. Oh my goodness, let's make our way down to the stage, ladies and gentlemen and gentlethems. Oh my goodness. To the stage, Walter, to the stage.
That was a lot of vendors.
Yeah, woo. That was a whirlwind.
Okay, Suzanne, let's give it up for Suzanne, our interpreter.
A little talking. They might do like
We have
some
many throughout the
introductions
day
and
that we will
stuff.
be giving shout outs
let's
to.
get a little
My
closer
name is
and then we
Deja.
can
My
listen.
pronouns are she,
Yeah.
her, hers.
That
and
sounds
I'm
great,
your
Walter.
host
Good
for
plan, good plan.
today. I almost said evening.
Look
I'm
at
so
all
used to
these
night
couches.
shows. Who got these?
And everybody, my name is Asher Mack. I am your other co-host. I'll be here throughout the day as well. And we're really excited to get this thing started. Welcome, y'all fired up?
Woo!
That's what we like to hear. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego. Again, welcome to the 8th annual She
Alrighty, we're
Fest
going in.
flagship event. And just now you heard DJ Betty Bangs spinning. Let's give it up for her one more time. Awesome. I loved it. You can actually find her spinning on Wednesday nights at San Diego Derby United. And please follow her on Instagram at Betty_Bangs. Ow. Yeah. And
Oh, we need to liven this crowd up. Y'all are too quiet for me. There you go. Oh, the people in the back, y'all are ready to party. Hey! That's what I like to hear. Go ahead, baby.
Awesome.
The next line is yours.
Oh, for sure. Well, I did want to talk a little bit about this past year because I dabbled in some things because of COVID.
What you dabble in? What did you dabble in?
Well, some stuff I'm not going to talk about up here, but also I did dabble in some vinyl, some DJing myself.
All right.
Cut my own hair.
Okay.
I was DJ COVID Bangs for
Oh,
a little bit.
my God.
My dogs can attest to the fact that Betty Bangs sounded much better and looked better than I did at that time. All right.
The very funny Asher Mack, everyone.
All right, everybody. She Fest is a volunteer committee of LGBTQ plus women.
want to get into before we into land acknowledgements?
Absolutely. You know, coming to you from so-called San Diego. This is land belonging to the Kumeyaay Nation, actually. They've been stewards of this land for over 10,000 years. They never ceded this land. But through colonial
land and will always be so. We hope you'll take a moment to recognize whose land we are on, and we hope you'll consider supporting local indigenous groups like the Strong-Hearted Native Women's Coalition.
All right, and at this time, we would like to introduce our special guest,
Yes.
Tony Atkins,
Yes,
to
we
the
do.
stage.
Yes, we do.
That's right.
Oh, okay. You want to say something a little bit about you, Miss Tone T?
Oh, I want to hear what you have to say.
You want to hear what I gotta
Absolutely.
say? I bet you do, Mama.
I do.
We got a whole, it's a whole script, but I'm just gonna.
It's not dull and boring.
No, well, let's make it fun.
Okay.
You know, in 2016, Ms. Atkins here was elected the representative for the 39th district in the state senate. That's a round of applause. Where she continued to advocate on behalf of women, LGBTQ, the climate, and increasing the state's, hold on for page 2, continue.
I'm going to use that when I do speeches. Hold on for page 2.
Yeah, I'll let you use that. Just give me credit, Mommy. Just give me credit.
I'll give you credit.
Supply of affordable housing. Connie. Among the bills she has authored was SB 2, which created a permanent source of funding for affordable housing and signature piece of legislation which worked for several years. There's one more piece that I want to definitely highlight. Miss Atkins here. Can I call you Miss Atkins? Tony. Oh, Miss Tony. She said, I'm not my mother. Okay, Tony. Has authored landmark legislation promoting equality for transgender Californians like myself by ensuring that they can have their true gender identification listed on driver's license and death certificates. Thank you, thank you. She has also led the charge, to expand HIV/AIDS treatment and prevention services and secured funding for housing homeless LGBT youth. My friends, Ms. Tony Atkins.
Well, good afternoon, Chic Fest. How are you? It is wonderful to be with you. My name is Tony Atkins. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am vaccinated. And I am vaccinated because it is the thing to do to keep our community safe. I don't know about you, I lost a couple of family members during this pandemic, and that is just not okay. And from our community, we know what that's like. We've been through this before, right? Yeah. I see some incredibly young folks here, and I'm so thrilled that we can all be out and be who we are. Not just during Pride, but every single day. I also see some long-time friends, some old gals, and some friends of old gals. So while I love it because this is not a safe space for us, our friends, our allies. It is for everyone that understands what it means to be together and be equal. And for my old gals, I'm going to give a shout out. We lost someone wonderful this year. We lost Alex Dobkin. Anybody remember Alex Dobkin? The woman in your life is you. Lavender Jane. Look, there's a lot I can share with you today. I mean, the coolest thing, as a politician getting an introduction, it's a snoozer most of the time. Let's just be clear. But let me tell you what's cool about it. We worked long and hard in this community to have a seat at the table, and it matters and it makes a difference. It matters and it makes a difference. I saw our mayor walking through just to say how much he supports She-Fest. That's cool. And I'm going to introduce in a minute the first member of our community to be on the County Board of Supervisors. That's cool. I was the first woman speaker from San Diego, member of the LGBTQ plus community. I am the first woman Senate leader in the state of California, member of the LGBTQ plus community. I say all that to tell you one thing. We have to be in those places. I'm in politics. I'm a public servant. I'm in the places that make a difference for us because you allowed me to do that. So thank you. Thank you for supporting people who run for office to get shit done. When we talk about what we need in our communities, and I've been talking about this for 30 plus years when I was a young activist, working at Woman Care Clinic, making sure we had reproductive rights and supporting members of the trans community. Even back then, before people allowed us to even say the words. I've learned so much from this community. I have benefited so much from this community, but we need
So we're gonna walk away from the stage so that we're not interrupting. Get away from the stage, and they're telling me that I need to wrap it up a little bit, and we really hope that you. Jimmy's telling me I gotta smooth out the mustache. Jimmy, does it look okay now? Okay. So this is Walter Krondike, and I've been reporting here live at SheFest, and SheFest is going to be going on until 6 p.m. 6 p.m. We got a lot of performers who are going to be performing for you until 6, and it's a party. There's a lot of people out here today enjoying the sun. It's hot, so bring your water, bring your sunscreen, bring your wallets, because there's some vendors out here selling the stuff. They're selling good stuff here, and some good businesses. You can come out and find out more about the community, and you can get some food while you're here, get something to drink while you're here. It is non-alcoholic. It's an alcohol-free festival, but yeah, we really appreciate it. And SheFest, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate having a chance to walk around and do this for you. And happy Pride, everybody.